I mean, dude, how absurd even is this entire dialogue anyway?
Well, you brought it up.
You already tried that gambit.
I mean, just
Failed
zoom out.
miserably.
You
You already tried the absurdity gambit. And it was you making the absurd claim.
The absurdity gambit. I mean, look, I'm not.
The absurdity gambit that seeing a drone is more absurd than seeing the ISS.
To me. Yeah, I said to me, in my opinion.
That's crazy, dude. You did it
The
again.
drones are way easier to see than the ISS.
No, it's that it just never lands. That no one's ever seen it land. Like, if it were a drone, it would have to get refueled, wouldn't it?
Do you see it go out of your field of view? Are you seeing it 24/7, or are you just seeing it and seeing it disappear?
That's
what
what
do you
I'm
mean
saying,
see it
though.
land? See what land?
The drone, the supposed drone that is the ISS.
Drones and airplanes land all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So why would, like, show me it landing? If it happens all the time. Like.
Show me orbiting the Earth.
I mean, it is. It's in that video I linked.
It is, because I said so.
No, it's in the video.
Oh, so the full orbit's in this video. You can see it go around the Earth.
No, you said orbiting. You didn't say completing a full orbit.
Okay. What can I see? What does the video show before I look at it? What does it show?
It shows a guy with a telescope looking at the ISS.
You can't see if it's fucking orbiting the Earth from a telescope.
Okay, dude. I mean, okay.
Just say what it is, tourist. It's a light. It's a light moving across the sky.
I mean, it's more than a light. Like I said,
It's a guy. It's a, as you called it. It's a white rectangle moving across the sky.
It's the shape of the ISS.
Well, you gave the game away, and Jemsy pointed it out. You already believed it, and you proved it yourself that you already believed it when you made a sociological argument about the Soviets or the Russians in the United States, and that the Russians would have ratted out the United States, which is just your subjective opinion about it's your subjective opinion about social matters, about what this group of people would do to that group of people. It's just nonsense. You don't know what these people would do. You don't know any of them.
I grow bored of your just endless contrarianism. I'd love to hear like.
It has nothing to do with contrarianism. It's pointing out you have no knowledge.
Yeah, sure.
Let's say that you characterize your lack of knowledge as my contrarianism.
You know, I just find like I get it, radical contrarianism, but
there's nothing. That's a shtick, dude. Your little narrative shtick isn't going to work.
That's your shtick. What do you mean? I'm not a contrarian. I actually believe certain things.
Yeah. You believe things that there's no basis for, other than your feelings.
At least I believe certain things. Like, there's no basis for God. I believe in God. There's no basis for, like, Jesus' divinity.
There's a basis for believing in God. There's plenty of basis for that.
Fine, but I believe in these things anyway, right? You don't believe in fuck all. You're just contrarian.
You're talking about, you're saying that you can predict the behavior of what people would and wouldn't do of complete fucking strangers. Yeah, they would do this.
Yeah, dude. I mean, look, it's okay. Like, my brother's...
Is that an educated guess?
Contrarianizing, like...
What is your opinion based upon about what they would or wouldn't do?
I feel like I could say, you know...
What is their opinion based on about what they would or wouldn't do? You have a real hard time answering questions, don't you?
Who? Someone possessed by now? Who?
Well, let me ask you. Are you here to figure out what the truth is, or are you here to just try and win an argument?
No, I would love to hear like your own thoughts and opinions on the flat Earth. Genuinely,
the Earth is measures flat, and it's not moving.
Me. That's what I find more like mentally gripping from the flat Earth.
How is that mentally gripping? The Earth looks flat because it is flat. It's tough. I know.
Look, hold on. Sorry for over talking you there, but like I understand the kind of essential argument that pretty much most things that you do in life are a leap of faith, and like you assume based on structures of authority, right? Like people will assume a scientist is right without really reading the paper they wrote. And we do this like every single day. Like if you sit down in a chair, you're assuming based on your own senses that it's not made of like cake, right? And that it's actually made of what it looks like.
It's
so like I understand this sort of like the radical skepticism. I do understand.
It's way worse than that. Most people believe in some scientific crap, right, that they heard, which isn't based upon A, anything a scientist ever said, B, not based upon any actual science, scientific experiments, scientific observations, or anything. It's just a narrative. They think that there's my magic science guy out there that proved all the things that some newspaper claimed the scientists proved. But when you look deeper into it, no scientist ever said that. No scientist ever did anything. It's your credulity that's the problem.
Evidence.
There
Why
are
are you
scientists
interrupting,
that
dude?
The ISS is real. Like, let's be real. There's scientists who have thought the Earth was round, right? Yeah. I mean, dude, like Newton, Einstein, like any scientist on the ISS, they're all PhD.
Newton wrote more about alchemy than any other subject. Newton died from drinking mercury. He also played with dolls.
Okay.
And died of virgin.
Look, the Roman Empire was constantly lead poisoning themselves. Does that mean that like everything they did can just be completely written off?
No, it doesn't. But you're like making these appeals as if somehow these people have some special knowledge. Newton didn't know if the Earth was a ball. He had no way to know that.
You just said like there's no scientist who says that. I'm just saying, what about this one?
He said Einstein.
Look,
can you post us Einstein doing
God.
like a scientific? My bad. Einstein was Einstein a scientist?
You missed the key part, the evidence part. The evidence. Newton had no evidence the Earth was a ball. He can believe whatever he wants. What was his evidence that the Earth was a ball?
I mean, dude, he wrote a few papers on the subject. I don't think he just like based it on vibe.
Great, he wrote papers. Who cares? What was his evidence?
I mean, dude,
see, this is exactly what I just illustrated.
Determine, like, is that light refraction and gravity? You literally like design different methods to, conduct light refraction tests. Like, he wasn't just out there like vibe checking.
How is that evidence the Earth is a ball? Taurus, you just literally proved my point.
This is just the endless contrarianism. Like, I get it.
There's nothing I'm saying that's contrarian at all.
I understand it doesn't. Like,
that is just spin. You're just trying to salvage. You're getting cooked.
You can say that, right? Like, I'm not even really trying to argue with you. Like, I see the argument. That's hyper-skepticism.
Nothing I said is skeptical. I asked you a question. You have no answer.
Sure, it doesn't, bro. It doesn't. There is no, like, you can't independently verify it. There's your answer. What do you say to that?
No, you don't even know what that... Taurus, what I say. I said the problem isn't that...
You said,
the problem is that people don't know anything about science. They don't know anything that any scientist did. They don't know anything about the evidence that was gathered for the scientists to reach the conclusion they did. I asked you, what's the evidence that Newton had? Because you brought him up as an example of that the Earth was a ball. And you are proving my point by not providing the evidence that he used. You just believe a narrative, have no idea what the information is that supports that narrative. Not whether you looked and found it yourself, even what it is at all.
All right, dude. All right. Like, I know if I do go out of my way to go find some Newton shit, you're not going to believe it anyway, so...
Oh, shut the fuck up, bro.
Hilarious. He's saying Newton.
It's genuinely true.
Indio points out you don't even know what you mean when you say Newton did this or did that. You don't even know what he did, and you just saying Newton did something.
Yeah,
you don't even know what it is.
I can find.
You don't even know what I referenced, bro. Like, you think Newton didn't come up with an equation that scientists to this day
equation. Science is empirical. It's based upon evidence in the natural world, not equations.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
Is science not based on experiments? Taurus?
Taurus, did you just learn that?
They just write down an equation and just go, hey, we have an equation.
What do you
don't
think
need to do anything else.
Squared is, bro? Like, that's a fucking equation. You know that, right?
Does that equation, whether it's true or false, or whether it models reality, does it have to be validated by experiment or observation?
Yeah. Do you think he just vibe checked the second law of motion, or do you think he actually had some basis?
Oh my god! How does the second law of motion prove the Earth is a globe?
No, you just said
I just said
We're
what?
not trying to prove the Earth is a globe. We're trying to prove that Isaac Newton employed the scientific method. That's what we're currently arguing.
He didn't employ the scientific method, and he admitted it.
Let's get to the proof the Earth is a globe. Then let's move on. So go do. Let's get to that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, dude. You keep trying to bring it back. Like, forget that. Like, I would love to hear an actual.
What's the proof the Earth is a globe? What's the proof the Earth is a globe?
Zodiac, forget it. Let's say I acknowledge the skepticist argument, and I take in radical.
It's not skeptical. There's no evidence to be skeptical of.
No, but like honestly, in good faith,
there's no evidence to be skeptical of. You're trying to get a free one that there's evidence that's being denied. There's no evidence.
Okay,
you deny. No, because this is just narrative bullshit. Sitting there listening to you saying you're skeptical of the evidence. There is no evidence to be skeptical of.
I'm trying to
any evidence. You present the narrative. Claims are not evidence.
I'm not trying to make
evidence. I'll be skeptical of that.
Oh, I'm agnostic right now. Like, I'm fully agnostic.
Do you have any evidence to be skeptical of that you can present?
Yeah, you yapping about what you believe is not evidence for what you believe.
Yeah, you're right. I'm completely agnostic, and I'm aware of that.
It's evidence about your mental state. That's all it is.
You're agnostic, so you're not a globe earther?
And believe me, I am not skeptical about your mental state.
That's what I'm saying, Zodiac. That's what I'm saying.
So you're not a globe earther?
Yes, that's what I mean when I say, let's say I'm being agnostic and I raise the skepticist argument.
So can you say out loud that you do not believe the Earth is a globe?
Yeah, I don't believe it's a globe, bro. I think it's flat as a disc, right? Like, let's move on. What do you think about that?
A disc? Nobody said it was
a disc. Oh my god, dude, I'm trying to agree with you. Like, I'm trying to get what your own belief on the subject.
So you do not believe the Earth is a sphere?
Nope.
Based. Honestly, based.
Yeah, the Earth's flat, Jack.
I mean, just look outside your window. Do you see a globe?
Flatter than a flapjack. I'm about to flat smack globers. Get your bags packed.
Finally, bro. Yeah. What took you so long?
Yeah, lesson one. Bro. No curvature to be found. How can it be a ball if nothing about it is round? Lesson two.
You're agnostic, dude.
Have the Earth covered in flat water.
Why are we just letting this guy go on like this? Like, really?
Yeah, what happened, dude? I thought you were agnostic.
Oh, he's finally telling the truth.
Lesson three. Take a look at the stars you see.
I don't think I've heard one bit of truth from this guy's mouth the entire time I've been listening. No, I haven't heard one bit of truth come from this guy's mouth the entire time I was listening.
Wow, that's a freaking harsh indictment, dude, because Mick is very diplomatic and forgiving.
Wow. I've gained the ire of Mick.
No, he's not the ire, the evaluation that you're dishonest, dude. he of all people is very he gives the benefit of the doubt to people saying things and just presuming they're fucking honest.
And Indio, you know the worst part? I was asleep half the time.
You're wrong every time?
No. I was asleep half the time, but I could still suss it out. All right?
You are asleep.
I'm a psychic. It's like I'm a psychic or some shit. Like, dude, you're full of shit, bro. Quit with this fucking rambling nonsense, man.
Look in the mirror, genuinely.
Look in the mirror.
I mean, yeah, genuinely.
What am I going to see?
What
am I going to see?
Say those words to your fucking self,
dude. I mean, exactly, yeah. I don't want to look at myself in the mirror, dude. My fucking beard's all messy and shit.
I didn't need to know that.
Is there a silver lining?
Like, if I had any value to what I'm saying.
Like, ask.
Right?
Like, genuinely.
What I've heard come from your fucking pie hole, okay, this entire time is nothing but weaselly nonsense.
Okay. Weaseling out of things is what separates us from the animals, except maybe the weasels.
You see what I mean, right?
Okay, we can't access the ISS, so give us something that we can actually test that prove the Earth is a sphere.
No, I'm agnostic, bro. I think it's flat as a disc. Like,
no, even better, tourists. Can you just come to your senses, be honest, and admit that you don't know what you're talking about? Can you just admit that you don't know what you're talking about, tourist?
Sure, dude.
And he contradicted himself.
There you go.
So there you go, a concession. He doesn't. All this time, he doesn't know what he's been talking about.
Sure, dude, I'll concede immediately. But like, what's your opinion? Like, any opinion, any real belief at all? I'm excited to hear it.
Okay, when we go outside, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Whoever talking.
I was saying, I mean, like, what's the point, man? Like, not 10 seconds ago, he contradicts himself, and now he concedes. Like, where's it going?
Is it over yet? I understand the skeptic argument. I do get it.
Why do you keep calling it a skeptical argument, man?
It's a type of philosophy.
Not a skeptical argument. You have no evidence to be skeptical of.
No, I mean your argument. Hold on. I mean your argument that the Earth is flat. I understand the skepticism of that argument, which is like the hyper-skeptic. You can't trust any source of authority. You can only independently verify.
Yeah, straw man. Keep piling it up. No one said that. No one said any of those things.
Okay, well, let's hear anything you believe then, if that's the case.
I don't believe things.
Exactly. So you're a contrarian, like I said, like a hyper-skeptic.
No, I'm a direct realist. Meaning,
a direct realist.
Yeah, that means I go out, I make observations, and that's how the world is.
So hold on,
when I go out and I see the Earth is flat, and I detect that it's motionless, I just assume that's what it is.
Okay, so you do believe
it looks flat because it is flat, and it's motionless, feels motionless because it's not moving.
Okay, great. So you believe it's motionless, you believe it's flat.
That's what I experience.
Free outside your house, yeah.
That's what I experience.
That's what we experience, yeah.
What do you believe? I know it's that way.
Well, no, you believe it to be that way.
I feel it.
Yeah.
Taurus, when do you experience the globe in real life?
When do you experience anything, dude? You're locked inside your brain.
When do you experience everything? You're real. Brain in the jar, Zodiac.
Crazy.
In 10, 9, 8.
What?
Taurus, when you look outside your window, can you describe the shape of the floor without, obviously be generic, don't dox yourself. But when you look outside, can you just describe the shape of the Earth that you see?
I mean, dude, I'm in London, I'll just say that, but so I can't see shit because it's like a metropolis. So I don't see a horizon line or anything.
You can't see the floor, the streets or anything? You can't see the ground at all?
He can see all the buildings that are parallel to each other, level, flat, horizontal, according to, water levels and the orientation of the whole city is evidence that it's not a sphere because there's no curvature between the buildings. It's all parallel.
Let's put this dude on ice and deal with Eskimo Greg because he's talking nonsense in the chat. Eskimo Greg.
What up?
Okay. You said, how do you think GPS works? How do you think it works?
Positioning. Satellites rotating around the Earth.
Yeah, but that doesn't tell me how it works, dude. How does it work?
As they ping your location.
Nope.
Tower.
That wasn't a rage quit.
You have no idea how it works. You've made up something in your head about how it works.
All right, I'll go.
So that's very funny.
I'll figure
you're sitting here calling us science deniers when you don't know the first fucking thing about what you're talking about. GPS uses a technology called trilateration. It's not two-way communication. Your GPS receiver doesn't talk to satellites. It gets there's a Rhinex message that has a timestamp in it, and it takes that timestamp and gives you the time of flight and tells you the distance to wherever the transmitter is. And if you have four of these, you have overlapping circles, then you have overlapping circles, and that will give you a position. The grid, which that puts you on, is something called Earth-centered, Earth-fixed coordinate reference system, which puts you on a tangent
nothing about
plane.
what you're talking about.
I'm describing GPS in detail of how it works. Technologically.
He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't know how it works, but he doesn't want to hear how it works.
The thing is that you do believe that there's a tree outside your house. You believe there's a tree outside your house.
We move on from you. Tourist, just mute yourself, Tourist, for now. Thank you.
Shut up, dude. Eskimo. What is differential GPS, and where are those beacons located? You have no idea how any of this shit works. Like I said, you made up in your head how you think it works. But it's literally just made up.
You're just making up shit in your head.
You can fact check everything I just said. You can fact check everything I just said. Why you Google it. And try to figure out what you believe, why you believe it, ex post facto. You know what Earth center, Earth fixed is? It's how your GPS receiver, that's your coordinates. Earth center, Earth fixed. You know what that's not on a globe? You know that's on a plane? Because the coordinate is up, down, east. When you see it, after coordinate conversion, it'll display it in latitude and longitude. Oh, he bolted.
He's gone with the wind.
Tell us, Eskimo.
Holy.
Tell us, Eskimo Greg. Tell us more. But I want to hear more about how we don't understand science and how all the scientists agree and how this and that and the other thing.
Sounds like
here goes. Brown Recluse is going to be a fucking retard, too.
A short version of tourists.
Let's not get insulting, Indio. Let's be nice.
Yeah, well, stop being a dummy, dude.
I'm just trying to talk with that guys about the scientist claim that the other guy was talking about, man.
There's no such thing as a globe Earth scientist or a flat Earth scientist. That qualifier is just arbitrary nonsense, dude.
What would you call a scientist that believes in the flat Earth and a scientist that believes in the globe Earth?
Their beliefs are irrelevant.
But that's what we're talking about in chat. How is it irrelevant if that's what we're talking about?
It's irrelevant.
But that's what we're talking about.
To what they believe.
How are their beliefs irrelevant to what they believe?
Dude.
No, the Earth being flat is not determined by beliefs.
There's no such thing as a flat Earth scientist.
A scientist who believes in the flat Earth would then be a flat Earth scientist.
There's scientists that are flat Earthers. Yes.
I disagree with that claim. If you can provide evidence, I will.
Dr. John D.
Who are you talking about?
Dr. John D. He's a freaking professor that teaches at the University of Brighton in the UK.
Dr. John D. What's his last name?
Okay, and now that I've provided somebody, now what? Does that prove that the Earth is flat?
No, and that was never.
Does that prove the Earth is flat?
No, that was never my claim, dude.
Okay, then why are we talking about it?
Because that's what was being discussed in chat. I joined into a conversation.
Why is it? But why does it? What's the point?
What do you want me to get into?
Brown, you don't get it. There's
What's the point
also
of the existence or non-existence of so-called flat Earth scientists?
Again,
what
regardless,
does that tell us about the world?
That the scientist beliefs does not dictate the shape of the Earth, right? I agree with that. But that was never my claim. I was only engaging with what was happening in chat. I didn't create the topic. I was simply
look. If 99% of the scientists in the world thought the Earth was flat, would you become a flat earther?
No.
Okay, then it's irrelevant.
That's irrelevant.
So I'm just engaging with what's happening in chat. I didn't make the topic, guys.
Okay.
Any other Globers want to step up? Who's ready? Who's ready to defend this?
You said it more than once. The guy said you have no science. And then you went to scientists. Scientist isn't science. Scientist is a human practice. It's a systematic study of the natural world and the things in it. Just because someone's a scientist doesn't mean they are doing science. So think about a geneticist. He's doing science in a particular field. But if he says the Earth is a globe, that isn't a scientific claim. And even if but that being said, the Earth is a globe is not a scientific claim in the first instance. Because it's a claim about the shape of something. That is geometry. So when you claim the Earth is a globe and that's based upon science, that's a category error and it's nonsense. The reason you guys do this, see what I'm doing right now is exposing propaganda. The reason you do this is because science in the modern day has taken down this whole other meaning where it doesn't mean a systematic study of the natural world and the things in it. It means truth. It means we can't debate this. It means this is an unquestionable truth. That's why you guys use that word when you say Earth is a globe is proven by science. You don't want to provide evidence that the Earth is a globe. You just want to say the magic word science. And then all else falls to the wayside.
exiting through the back door. 1, 2, 3.
Indio, what science do you use to measure a 2x4?
You don't. I use a tape measure.
Why are they so hung up on science if it's a question of measure?
Exactly.
All right. Is there anyone else here that?
Like I said, the reason they use that terminology is the propaganda. That's all it is. It's just a rhetorical technique.
What was the quote from, what was it, Tesla? Somebody said that basically science has become mathematicians just figuring out equation after equation.
Or something.
Yeah. Can't remember the quote directly.
Go ahead, Zodiac. You go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, is there anyone here that is believes in the globe? Okay, never mind. Carry on, guys. Go ahead.
I believe it was something like modern scientists have foregone the scientific method and built mathematical equation on top of equation and are left with no relation to reality. Something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Isn't that why there's a word called pseudoscientists? Like, there's a confusion. I mean, not a confusion, but...
I don't know. I was listening to that guy earlier, but I couldn't come off mute. It was kind of funny. It made me think about how easily millions of people were convinced by the broadcast on radio of War of the Worlds that we were being attacked by aliens when he was talking about the ISS. I'm like, people can be shown the propaganda and the pomp and circumstance from a source in which they believe is an authority and can believe something that's complete fiction. I was just thinking about that when the guy was talking about the ISS and all of his claims.
You know, that's funny. It's like stuff like that got memory hold. All that stuff is just it's like it's lost. So like people in their 20s and in their 30s, they don't know anything about that. And it's not taught to them. They don't even know it even that those events ever happened in the first place. It's like it's like modern society is more like, oh, just pay attention to what's happening right now. Don't think about the past, right? So, you know, the particulars of how we got to where we are, they just like pretend that they never happened in the first place. But I want to read something from Albert Abbesig's electromagnetic theory, which I think is quite funny. It's a quote from there. It says, it was once told as a, now this is a person that invented calculus, vector calculus. So he knew a lot about mathematics. It was once told as a good joke upon a mathematician that the poor man went mad and he mistook the symbols for realities as M for the moon and S for the sun. And that's how these guys are. They think the variables in the equations are actual physical things that exist in reality.
Good way to put it, and pretty simplified. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah, the Globers often conflate math and science. I mean, those are two completely different categories, especially even in education, right? They don't conflate the two. It's math and science. It's not one in and of the same. But going back to the War of the Worlds broadcast, I feel like that was one of the first litmus tests for once they started to get into space exploration, right? Like, what would people believe? Would people believe that this is even possible? Have we convinced them enough that it's a globe that we can move forward with the next step in the operation? I feel like there's a lot of litmus tests that they do. The pandemic being one of them.
Oh my God, that was a crazy one.
Yeah.
Look, if the Russians invaded the United States and were like, and took over our airwaves and were like, we're invading, we're declaring martial law, everybody stay in their houses and don't go to work, nobody would have listened, right? Fuck you, I'm grabbing my gun, I'm going to work. Like, who the hell are you? I don't care if you're invading army, I don't give a shit about martial law. You can't tell me what to do. I'm free. But Donald Trump gets on TV and says, don't go to work. Stay in your house. Flatten the curve. And everybody's like, okay.
Yep, it's a great way to usher in the new economy, right? Shift everybody to working from home, right? The new normal. Everybody's in the new normal. We're all stuck in our little boxes that we live in, and we're working from home. And now they're trying to push everybody back to office. So when people become complacent in the 6 years that they've spent in their home, in their workplace, that they had to uproot themselves and change their whole routine because they were told that the pandemic was happening. Now they're being told to shift back to the office. And if you don't comply, then guess what? Don't worry. We've already replaced you with AI. You don't want to play the game? That's cool. You don't want to come back into the office 5 days a week? Guess what? You can just see yourself out the door. It's an easy way to get people out of the workforce, contemplate whether or not AI can actually replace them, and the people that remain are just stuck there building the AI that's going to eventually replace their jobs.
It also injected billions of dollars into the industries of biometrics and all that stuff, and really, it took off running. It was a good reason to really develop those systems further.
Contact tracing, snitch on your neighbor, take this test to prove that you can function in this society. A lot of things implemented for sure.
All I know is our ancestors are rolling in their fucking graves calling us pussies.
I remember when it first happened, and there was like the great toilet paper shortage. And I thought to myself, I was like, so this is when the 3 seashells get invented.
That's funny. I didn't listen to any of that crap. Now, I would put on a mask if I had to go in the store because they wouldn't let you in otherwise, and I didn't feel like starving to death. So just out of necessity, I did that. But I didn't do any. I've never been tested for COVID or any of that crap. Didn't play that game.
Yeah, the toilet paper.
You don't want to be arguing. You don't want to be arguing with every Karen, every corner.
Yeah, the toilet paper thing's hilarious,
especially in Boston.
Well, if you were in I was in small town, America, and if you didn't have your TV or your internet on, like you wouldn't even known anything was different.
I know that
because all the toilet paper was gone. Of all the necessities in life, people go for the toilet paper. You can literally just spray your ass and wipe it off with a washable washcloth.
It's funny though, to a degree. It's like, out of all the things I really need to think about, because I'm never working again and never leaving the house again because some idiot on the TV said not to, and I just decided I'm going to do what they say and ruin my own life because of a talking stranger. But I can go out for a little while. What should I get? Toilet paper. It's crazy, dude. Like, out of all the things, that's what you grab?
No. India,
There's probably still people right now with like a warehouse of toilet paper going, I'll use it eventually.
Yeah, India, not the food that would then lead you to eventually need the toilet paper. No, not that.
Come on, they think about food.
You can replace the toilet paper shortage with a bidet and a washcloth. Problem solved.
You could do what they do in like Somalia and just drag your ass on the ground.
Yeah, that's what dogs do.
That's what dogs do.
Somalia do. I'm not making that up. My friend was stationed there in the army, and he said, "Oh, they just drag their ass on the ground and throw sand up there." Like, okay.
I was recently in the Philippines, and they have little sprayers by every single toilet, everywhere that you go. Little bidet sprayer things. Little handheld ones like you used to have on the sink back in the day.
Yeah. That's convenient. No, I mean, the whole thing with the pandemic thing is like how little they had to do I think of it like this, right? You have a horse, and you couldn't control a horse with just your arms, no matter how strong you are. But if you have reins, right? Little bit of pressure on the reins, you can make it go in any direction. You can make it pull thousands of pounds or climb a steep hill. And that's how they were, a little teeny tug. And they made the whole society make a radical change that was against its own, which should have been against their own survival instinct.
But that's a domesticated horse, because if you get the wild one, that stuff is not going to work until you break his soul.
Yeah, true. Well, I mean, that was probably the same thing with the pandemic.
It's wild how this relates, you know. It wasn't just strangers saying this thing. It was a man with the label of scientist in a lab coat. It's this belief, this unquestionable belief in things given that label that allows these sorts of things to happen.
Yeah, but I don't think it was like Fauci or any of those guys that the public was like, oh, Fauci said it, I better do it. I think it was like the government, when the government said it. I think it was when the public officials were like, you really got to do this. I think that was kind of like, it was like what actually motivated them to listen. And I don't think it was like a thing where like, I'll get in trouble if I don't. I don't think that was like the motivation, the penalty. I think the motivation was just conformity. I have to do what everybody else is doing. I don't want to be the odd man out.
Yeah, the suggestion that they will say, if you don't do this, you are like a grandma killer, you know, like old people killer. They say that they use that wording, and the people are like, if I don't do that, then I'm going to affect my loved ones or whatever, right? So people convince themselves, basically.
Well, I remember
that type of argument.
I remember people not even doing it to kneel down to the government, but to do it in to obey the WHO. They said the World Health Organization said so. I must do this. It's like, hey, we're in the United States. Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, Brown Recluse, you got any evidence of lasers magically bending around a sphere? Or just bending down at all over a large distance?
Lasers going straight over large distances without begging the question?
Yeah, we've got footage of it.
Right, so
plenty of footage of lasers going straight.
The footage is what we're talking about, so that's begging the question. You're providing the evidence. The evidence the evidence in question is the laser test videos. So you can't use the laser test videos as evidence for the laser test videos being valid. So what's your evidence that lasers do not bend over large distances?
Wait, what? Okay, the footage of the lasers going straight over large distances is not.
How did that's the whole thing that's happening.
Really?
How are you verifying that it's straight?
Because we can see it going straight. We can take side views of the. Yeah, we can. We have side views of some of the laser tests, right? Using rectilinear lenses.
The longest side view you have is 6 miles, exactly. But the laser test we're talking about is 20-something miles, right? So you don't have a side view from something miles. We're talking about large distances.
Why didn't? Okay, so yeah,
it's ostensibly straight at the horizontal or the. What is
there's no evidence that exists of a laser.
It's over.
Yeah, so this is the thing. The lasers hit the target, and you don't have any. So if it's hitting the target, shut up, shush. Yes, it hits the target, right? The beam goes directly into the sensor of the camera, or it hits the target. If there's a physical target set up, right? Like an actual
physical target. You said it goes to the center.
There is in some. You can't see it at all. You can't see it at all until the center of the beam hits the sensor of the camera.
That's not true.
Until then, you can't see it at all.
If you go to the videos, I can show you. They point the laser's pointing upwards in one shot, and then they adjust it so that it points downward more closely to the camera, right? So then
how would that go through the Earth curvature?
We can both hopefully agree that you can see the laser without it pointing directly into the camera. Can we both agree to that?
No, you can't see. Okay, so it shouldn't hit the target because there's a giant hump There's hundreds of feet of Earth curvature that should be blocking it.
Right.
Moron.
But I just explained that you can see the laser without it going directly into the camera, correct?
You would see it 100 meters up in the air.
Let's address my question. Can you see the laser without it going directly into the camera?
No, because it would have to be 100 meters up in the air, and there's you don't see a laser 100 meters up in the air. The only way you could see it, right, is if it's going over the horizon, which should be at less than 3 miles, right, and then the hidden height would be over 100 meters.
All right, listen. If you saw the laser going above your head, could you see it without it going directly into the camera?
Probably not, unless you did long exposure or over a shorter distance.
So if the claim is that if the Earth is a globe, you should see the laser going above your head, how are you going to see the laser if the camera can't see the laser?
It's a direct hit. It's a direct hit. It hits the target. We also have side views where we did long exposure and we can see the entire transit of the beam.
The claim
to 3
is
foot.
that if the Earth was curved, the laser would go several hundred feet above your head, correct?
Yeah, but
would
that's
the
not
camera
what's
be
observed.
able? Oh, sure, but would the camera be able to see that laser?
It wouldn't be a direct hit. And
okay, so answer my question: could the camera see that laser going above your hypothetical head?
Yeah, it should be able to.
Okay, wonderful. So we agree that the camera could see the laser, and it's not a direct hit, correct?
That's seeing the laser is different to it being a direct hit directly into the sensor of the camera.
I agree. I agree that those are two separate things, right? But do we agree that the camera could see the laser while not being a direct hit?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. How are we verifying that it's a direct hit?
Because the only way you can get that level of brightness is you can't see it until it hits that sensor of the camera. Till it goes right into the lens. If you what you should do is you should watch Dr. John Dee's videos on how lasers work. Okay, learn how lasers work.
Post them, please. I'll take a look at
Just go to YouTube, type in Dr. John Dee.
I type in Dr. John Dee. Like, what I get is Bob the Science Guy, Dr. John Dee, and the fallacy of flat derp, right? That's what comes up when I look up Dr. John Dee on YouTube, right? So if you would like to provide what you want me to look at, otherwise I'm just going to watch this guy.
Just go to his channel. It comes up if you type in Dr. John Dee.
Dr. John Dee. All right. Is it, does he have 55,000 subscribers?
No, he has 5.41 thousand.
It's 5,000. Okay, wonderful. All right. Is there anything specifically you want me to look at?
Yes. Go to the search, type in laser.
All right. Laser divergence, laser observation, lowest laser point, error lies and deceptions of McWest.
Yeah, that's a good one, right? So he goes over
which I said like 6 of them. Which one? I said like 6 of them.
All right, so the ones that says errors, lies, and deceptions of McWest, I think he goes over.
So none of the things that say laser. Okay.
What comes up when you type in laser, right? So I typed in laser and it came up.
All right. It's a 22-minute video, so it's going to take me a while to go through this.
Why are you being such a bitch, dude?
Why are you throwing insults around?
Well, it's the way you're talking. It's basically like an insult. It's like this weird little like passive aggressive behavior. You can't just have a normal conversation.
I'm frustrated with you specifically because you were a bitch when we were chatting in the other server, right? So I'm frustrated with you specifically and your ignorance.
No, that's only because you were being the same as what you're being now, right?
I was in chat. I was typing in text. How are my text messages sassy? And just to clarify, your claim in chat when you texted me was saying you said I was clogging up the feed. So are you changing the reason that you banned me 2 days ago?
No, I never said
I was clogging up the feed.
That's not what I said.
Absolutely. Let's go to our texts. Let's see. You're wasting time. Go whine. You're wasting time. Stop muddying up the main text with cope. That's what you said.
Yeah, that's what you were doing.
Okay, wonderful. So are you claiming that I was being sassy or was I muddying up the main text?
Yeah, you were being pathetic from what I remember.
Okay, you're just saying shit, dude. I think you're pathetic. So we both think each other are pathetic. So where do we go from here?
Where's your globe evidence?
Where's your fucking globe evidence, bro?
That's what we want to hear, guys.
Show us it. This is what you need to do. Find us a laser bending downward right? So that's what you would need for the laser to hit the target in all of these laser tests that hit the target.
They don't hit the target. They just are seen by a camera. I made this point earlier.
None of them hit the target?
They're seen by a camera. If you could show me one that hits a target where a target is not a camera, right? Then I would love to see it. But I have not seen any evidence of that claim specifically. So if you want to say that it hits a camera,
the target was the camera.
That's what I'm saying. Again, if you want to say the target is something other than the camera, feel free to. But if we could just say camera instead of target,
right. So you can't see the laser at all until it's aligned in such a way that it actually hits directly into the. You would, if what you were saying was correct, you would be able to see the laser the entire time.
Where's one point you can't see the laser?
In every single laser test video, you don't see the laser until you get the direct hit into the target.
No, again, I just addressed how I can show you one where the laser points upwards and then you can see the laser. But we agreed that if the laser was going above your head, you could still see the laser without it making a direct hit. We already went over this point.
Brown, hang on a second, dude. To be clear, I mean, DJ, is it not the case what you mean by when you're saying see the laser? You're talking about the source of the laser, right? Not like a little like lightsaber like thing. Like the beam of it. We're not looking at fucking Star Wars and shit, right? Talk about the source of the laser.
Again, that's what's in contention.
Okay,
I'll show him the difference.
Yeah.
You're just going to show me light and then brighter light.
Term, Brian, it sounds like you're talking about seeing the beam, like zip up in the air or not.
But what's the laser if not the beam?
The source of it. That's why I specified the source.
Right. So, but again, how are we?
I'm going to show you the difference.
The source.
Yeah. This is the difference. Okay. So this is being able. Look in the side chat. Okay. This is being able to see the beam of the laser. Now that's not hitting the camera. Obviously, you can see the laser beam, right? But that's not a direct hit into the camera.
I agree. So we're seeing the laser. We both agree that we're seeing the laser, correct?
Right. So that's not what any of the tests are saying as a direct hit, right? So it's not just seeing the laser is different to actually going into the camera sensor, right? I can show you what it looks like when it goes into the camera sensor. When it actually hits the target, it's completely different. It doesn't look like this.
Goes into the camera. We both completely agree that is what happens, that the light from the laser goes into the camera. But you're claiming that the laser does not bend or diffract or diffuse at all, right? In that 20-something mile distance, correct?
I'm saying that there's no evidence that a laser bends downward over a large distance observation
towards denser mediums. Does light bend towards denser mediums?
Yeah, it does.
Is laser light?
It's interesting. Yes.
There we go.
How come with all of the laser tests that have been done, we've never seen any footage of a laser bending down? Even Dr. John D said after 350 plus hours of laser tests, right, using different spectrums of laser, different weather conditions throughout different times of the year of it, all sorts of different places and distances, he's seen lasers bending upwards, right? He's seen lasers going straight. He's never once seen a laser bending downward. No globe earther has been able to provide us a laser bending downward over a long distance observation, over a body of water or land.
Right.
That's
so
kind of crazy.
You're claiming that the light doesn't bend, right? And therefore the laser isn't bending.
I didn't say light doesn't bend.
No, you say the laser isn't bending.
No, I said what Dr. John D said, that it goes in a straight line.
Right, so straight line is not.
No one's ever provided footage of a laser bending downward.
You can stop me.
So, again,
Brown, calm down, bro.
The claim, again, I keep saying the same. The claim is that the laser is going straight, right?
No, the claim is that the laser is hitting the target, and there's no evidence of Earth curvature.
You said direct hit. What does that imply?
See the laser beam directly hitting the sensor of the camera, right? It means you're not seeing a beam of light up in the air like I showed you in the previous pictures from Dr. John D. You don't see that, okay? You see the laser actually hitting the sensor of the camera. You don't see the beam, you just see the direct hit.
Right, so again, you see the light from the laser. Like I said, we both agree to that. The claim, right, is that it's straight line. It's a direct hit from the source of the laser to the camera, right? And the claim is that it hasn't been shown to bend downward because this is a straight view.
Yeah, there's no evidence of it bending downward.
Right, so
we
then why
see evidence of it going straight.
Straight. What do you mean? It's clearly supposed to be a straight line. Why are you fighting that?
This is what I'm saying. The camera is getting a direct hit from the laser. In order for that to happen, it would have to bend downward over hundreds and hundreds of feet of curvature to hit the target. You don't have any evidence of that curvature in the first place. What we're seeing is just direct hit after direct hit.
Obviously.
Dozens and dozens of different tests.
Right,
You don't
so
have any evidence of a globe.
Again, we both agree that there's plenty of given evidence for the globe that you would contest as real. Obviously, there's alleged pictures from space, so you can't say there's no evidence for the globe, right? We're referring to this specific evidence.
CGI. You can't tell the difference between CGI and the real thing when it comes to your space pictures. I could prove that right now if you want.
Again, I am not an expert on CGI, right? Again, I agree to that. But to claim that you're claiming that all of them are CGI. Again, I'm not claiming to be an expert.
I didn't claim that.
The claim
I didn't
has
claim
to be,
it's all CGI.
Then
Don't lie.
Okay,
why you gotta lie?
1 second. I'm talking about space pictures provided, right? What is your refutation to those?
My refutation is that you can't validate them, and you just have to have faith in those.
Right.
That's my refutation.
Again, they are validated by other space agencies, right? So, but why are those not real?
Oh,
how do you verify the other space agencies?
Again, they corroborate each other, obviously. Again,
how do you test them? How do you test the other space agencies? What have you done to test them in real life?
Again, I haven't proven any scientific method, right? But I have observed the ISS, right? Like, again, I've seen the light from the ISS travel across the sky.
So you've seen it a bunch. So you saw something in the sky with the telescope.
You're asking what test I did, right? I'm simply talking about that clearly evidence for the globe has been provided, right? That is in contention. His claim is that no evidence has been provided for the globe because that's globe.
Hold on a second. When you saw something in the sky through your telescope, which you claim is the ISS,
I didn't see it through my telescope. I just saw it.
Okay, with your own eyes, when you saw that thing in the sky, how do you know it was the ISS?
Because it's in the exact spot purported that the ISS is purported to be in, right? And then I would look up other evidences of
wait.
Please let me finish. Other evidences of other people looking at the same object, zooming in, seeing the exact shape that the ISS is purported to be, right? And then traveling to other locations where it can also be seen from other perspectives with the exact same shape and relative distance from the Earth.
What spot was it in?
What spot was it in? It's in the sky. What do you mean?
You said that there was a purported spot that it was supposed to be in. What was the spot?
Okay, I can give you like the live tracking for the ISS.
But you do see how like other people seeing that, even if they're in a different position, doesn't verify what it is.
Again, I agree that doesn't necessarily guarantee what it is, right? But I'm saying that the purported position, the given position of the ISS at any given moment, right, can be verified from the ground.
Give me the position.
It's a leap of faith.
Give us the position. Stop. Everyone stop talking. Give us the position.
Again, it's a ridiculous thing, but I will look up the ISS tracker for you.
Yes. Give us an exact position. Exactly.
Well, Zodiac, this guy, what he's done, dude, he's just managed to take the conversation away from the Earth back into sky magic that we can't validate.
Yeah,
I'm just answering your guys' questions. I didn't take it to the space, dude.
All right, fine. Let's get back to the
what test I did was. Let me just show you this. Let me give you the current position of the ISS. Here we go. 1 second.
Okay.
This is the purported current position of the ISS. It's above it's ground point 27.79 north and 123 east, right? It's ridiculous to claim that people don't claim.
How did you measure that?
I didn't measure this. I corroborated it. I corroborated it with my actual location. It's purported to be above near where I was at the time. I looked where it was purported to be and saw a light. Right, that's what I'm claiming happened.
So above anywhere in the sky, that's what it said. Like above where you're supposed to be, but it didn't give you like a distance or anything.
It gives you an altitude. What do you mean? It doesn't give you a distance. It gives you a ground point coordinate plus an altitude. Okay, that gives you an exact location relative to Earth.
How do you know the altitude?
It provides the altitude. I didn't say I knew the altitude. I said, given the purported position, I saw a light in the sky where the purported position was supposed to be.
So you never verified the altitude. You don't know.
How am I to verify that? How am I to verify that from the ground?
That's my question to you.
Right. So again, I never claimed I did.
Okay, then you just have faith. Let's go back to the laser test. Go back. You have
then
faith.
you have faith that the lasers are straight because there's no evidence to claim that lasers don't bend.
Oh, we have faith that the lasers are hitting the target, dude. We don't need to have faith.
We can show you the
but we can confirm that the lasers.
The question is if lasers
the laser. Okay, how does the laser hit the target?
The laser diffuses, diffracts, and refracts.
Diffuses. Okay, so you're claiming. Yeah, diffuses. What the hell?
Did you really say that?
Do lasers diffuse? Do lasers diffuse?
Do you know what light diffusion is?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, tell me.
I'll give you an exact definition.
You guys, man.
The scattering of light rays as they pass through translucent mediums.
Yeah.
Or bounce off uneven surfaces.
Yeah.
There we go. So do you think that lasers
going through a diffuser?
Do lasers diffuse in the atmosphere?
No.
They don't.
No, the air is not translucent.
They're absolutely translucent, but okay.
It's not translucent, it's transparent. Clown.
There you go. I can give you the AI overview. But yes, lasers do diffuse in the atmosphere, or more accurately, spread out and scatter as they travel through the atmosphere. But again,
scattering is not diffusion.
Then what is diffusion?
Dude,
I just gave you the definition. One second, dude. I gave you the definition.
Dude. Stop.
I defined it.
Dude. Just stop, dude, with your fucking Texas sharpshooter bullshit.
I defined it as a scattering of light rays, and you did not contest that. Why did you not contest that?
Look.
Do you contest that definition?
Look, so
okay.
If you wanna, so they make things called light diffusers. You put them in front of a light,
yeah,
so that the light becomes smooth and doesn't have a hot spot. Okay, the air is not doing that.
What happens when a light ray hits an air molecule?
Why are you asking me a question, dude? The light does not do that.
Because you're claiming that the light doesn't diffuse in the atmosphere. That's the claim. I'm saying that's
under
wrong.
Certain conditions like fog or something like that. Yeah, it can.
What is fog? It's just
water vapor.
Atmosphere. Right. And is there water vapor always present in the atmosphere?
Not to the point that makes the air translucent. That's why we have a separate word to describe when it's translucent. It's called fog.
No, again, it just increases in opacity.
You're the most dishonest motherfucker that comes in this chat. You know that?
No,
you are.
All right, man. We agree to disagree. I think that you guys are all pretty.
This isn't an agree or disagree thing.
Okay, well, it's your opinion that I'm the most. So again, if other people could disagree.
Yes, that is my opinion. I think born out by evidence.
Then how is it not an agree or disagree if that's your opinion?
Dude.
What?
You're going down a dead end right now.
Okay, I agree. The whole Flat Earth channel is a dead end. I agree. But again, you're just saying things to try and put me down.
Seems to have controlled your life.
It does. I love it here. I'm addicted to you guys, and I hate it.
Yeah, here you are.
I'm addicted to you guys. I admit it. I love you guys more than I love a lot of my real friends.
Yeah, well, watch how you act, dude, because you're close to getting banned. I'm going to tell you that now.
You banned me yesterday, DJ, or 2 days ago. Again, I get it. You guys don't like it. But ban me if you'd like.
We like honest people. You're not one of them.
I would say the same thing about you, Indio.
Yeah, but you'd have no basis for what you said, whereas I do.
Okay, well, I defined diffusion as light scattering, and then you said and then you didn't contend it, and then immediately after you said scattering is not diffusion, or diffusion rather.
All scattering is not caused by the same thing.
I agree.
All scattering is not the same.
I agree.
So you're just using you're just using a word context fallacy.
Both you niggas are retarded. The Earth doesn't even exist. You guys are fucking stupid, nigga. My God.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Am I still the most
out of the Hold on, you're gonna get kicked out of the server now. All right, okay. I want you to know that for saying the N-word, because I'm gonna report you right now, and you're gonna get kicked out of the server. So congratulations. I hope it was
still your opinion that I'm the most dishonest, given that All Right Son is in here.
Yeah, that guy's just a Todd, right? Like you're actually
ridiculous.
Yeah, you're still more ridiculous than him, just with the way that you're acting and your dishonest.
The question was
passive aggressiveness and that kind of thing. Hey, just quickly, dude. I just looked up a video for you. I'm going to put it in the side chat, and I want to show you what the difference is when the laser directly hits into the lens, right? So this laser test was actually done during the daytime. You can't see the beam, right? And you can see a bit of a light in the distance where the laser is, but it's not until it directly hits right into the sensor of the camera, and you'll see it lights up. All of a sudden, it lights up like crazy. So it's at 6 minutes 53 in the video. I'll just grab the video. And this is what I'm talking about a direct hit of the laser into the camera.
For sure. I agree. The light gets brighter, but that's not it.
Only when it goes. Yeah, when this. Okay, so laser beams are much brighter right in the centroid or center of the beam, whatever it's called. Right. It's not until that part hits into the camera lens that it illuminates it. You see like a big bright green light all of a sudden just appear instantly into the camera. It's not like you can see it the whole time. It's only when it hits right into the, like directly into the sensor of the camera that you can see it.
Laser beams are collimated light that follow a Gaussian profile that extends radially from the center. There's a centroid of the beam where the beam is most intense. It exponentially, so from the edges, the external edges to the center, the brightness increases exponentially.
I agree. The center of a laser is brighter than the outer bits of a laser. I agree.
It's exponentially greater.
Okay, it's not an infinite amount of brightness, right? So
okay, who said the word infinite?
I agree.
Who said the word infinite?
I misspoke.
Nigger.
Ugh, these fucking people. I agree. I misspoke.
Well, in your case, he was right.
What? You're saying that I'm
moving on, dude.
Moving on. I don't want to move on from that.
Well, you're the one. You're the one that's like these people. Crazy. Now you want to? Just these people are idiots.
You saying these people is equivalent to what Indio just said. That's what you're saying. You're making that claim. Those are equivalent.
These people.
What was my reference? What did I say?
Come on.
Was it a hateful slur?
Are you? Can I ask? Wait. Let me just ask them this question. Have you ever questioned if the Earth was actually a sphere?
Yeah. When I first came in here, you guys almost got me for sure.
Have you ever had doubts? No, before that. Yeah. I mean, before you knew about us. Have you had doubts about
before that? No, once I came in here, you guys introduced doubts, like you tend to, and then I doubted, and then I realized you're wrong, and then I came back to.
So before that, you were 100% convinced.
I had no reason to doubt it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You realize we're wrong by being willfully ignorant about the subject you're talking about. So your ignorance is what propels. No, bro.
Okay.
I actually went to university.
I would say no to you.
I actually went to university and took physics and passed the courses.
For sure.
You didn't even take it in high school. Okay. You have no idea what you're talking about.
How is gravity?
Come in here and sit there, talk out your ass, and just randomly pick sentences out of ChatGPT. Trying to pretend you know what you're talking about. You don't have a fucking clue, even a little bit, of what you're talking about. You don't.
Those claim.
You're not even at the level of pretender clown.
So what am I then?
Trash.
All right. If that makes you feel better, call me trash all you want, I suppose.
It's not about whether I feel better.
Okay.
Clearly, what is it about then? What is calling me trash?
Yeah, your little fucking psychological analysis don't mean anything to me. This is very simple.
Insults mean nothing to me either. So
you don't know what you're talking about.
No.
This subject, you know nothing about the behavior of light at all.
I think you know nothing.
Hey,
that's because you're ignorant.
I think you're ignorant.
Everything I say, you can fact check. Everything you say is just going to end up being wrong.
Okay, I disagree. What is one thing I said that was wrong?
Disagree. Doesn't mean anything.
What was one thing I said that was wrong?
I'm saying is objectively true. You're just saying no.
What is one thing I said that was wrong?
Everything.
What is one thing? Name one thing. If everything was wrong, you can name one thing. What's one thing I said?
At least. That diffusion is scattering.
What is diffusion then?
Oh my God.
Is diffusion scattering? What's the definition of diffusion? Then what's the definition of diffusion? Enlighten me, please.
If you had a laser and a laser was being diffused, the beam would have no centroid. It would be smoothed out so that the intensity would be uniform radially across the across the center to the edges. It'll be the same. It'll be diffused.
So what's the definition of
spreading? It's spreading it out and smearing it so that the energy is uniform per unit area. Okay. Lasers. If you see the beam centroid and it's more intense in the center, then it's not being diffused.
I don't think you have any evidence of that claim, but if you have it, I'm happy to look at it.
What do you mean evidence of that claim? All you have to do is go on to Google, type in laser beam profile, okay? And it will show you, and click Google Images, and there'll be lots of diagrams of Gaussian profiles of laser beams with an equation.
I'll look up that. You look up, do lasers diffuse? You look up that, and I'll look up yours.
Lasers can be diffused. Okay,
wonderful, wonderful. So then what is diffusion? Dude,
you're looping, dude.
No.
Okay,
no,
you're going to ask, ignore, repeat. You will be banned for that, dude. I will not play with that. Ask, ignore, repeat is not going to work, Brown Recluse.
Then why does it work for you?
Ask, ignore. Bye.
Okay. You can ask the same question over and over again, but I can't. Again, what diffusion, as far as I'm concerned, is scattering.
Ask, ignore, repeat. So now you're going to straw man what I said. Bye.
All right. I miss you. Goodbye, guys.
Catch you on the flat side.
Love you guys.
It's flat, by the way. You should.
I believe you.
Loser. Piss off. Shut your hole. He should not even be entertained.
Yeah. Any other Globers ready?
That dude is here is only to obfuscate the conversation, the truth, trying to make sure that no information is passed, that everything is a fucking shit show, that nothing makes sense. His whole purpose is to just muddy water. Which, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but this is how I feel about it. That is contrary, I guess, to our purpose. It's contrary to my purpose. I want people to understand more when they come in here, not understand less.
Yeah, he's a waste of time.
People will, like, say you don't know anything about this topic, and you come in here and you listen to us and him, because he's all over the place, gish galloping, contradicting himself, saying random crap that's unrelated, and then when you say, hey, that's wrong, him just saying, no, I think you're wrong, you don't understand it. As if that's some sort of valid refutation, and then you ask him again, and then you ask him to substantiate what he says, and then he just does the exact same thing again. Random crap, gish gallop, throwing it all together, and then you saying, no, that is wrong too. That doesn't substantiate what I said. Yeah, it does. You don't know what you're talking about. And just doing that over and over and over and over and looping. Anybody that doesn't know about this topic or the issues of this topic or the particulars of what we talk about is going to leave here more confused and more ignorant than when they came in. Now, you guys can do what you want. I think that's contrary to our purpose. I don't think we're trying to have conversations in here that confuse people. Because what's going to happen? They go, oh man, this is just fucking confusing. I don't know what the truth is. I'll just believe the earth is a globe. It's just fucking simpler.
Probably his whole purpose.
Exactly. That is the purpose. It's called obscurantism.
That alone says so much about the subject. They got to come here and do that.
It's crazy they even cared to fight that hard. Yeah.
He's been doing it a long time. And there's two others that are part of his little clique, obscurantism clique, that all associate together. JJ Fish, whatever his fucking name is. And there's another one. What the hell's his name? I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, there's a bunch of them. There's probably about fan, at least, of these characters.
Yeah, that's the same. That's the same shtick. Those same song and dance. The gimmicks.
When you guys, when you guys used to believe in the globe, did they? I mean, did you ever like? Dude, I've never done anything like that. You know.
Of course not. Why would anybody do that for any reason on any topic?
Yeah.
Unless you have something to hide. You know, if my girlfriend, if I've been cheating on my girlfriend and she asks me, hey, dude, what'd you do last night? Yeah, I'm going to obscure the truth. I'm going to try and make everything, my rendition of events so confusing that she can't figure out what really happened. Yeah. And I'm not saying it's justified. I'm saying that's a legitimate use of obscurantism, of why you would do that. Why you would do it in relation to this, to like a, you know, an informational topic. There is no reason for that other than
It's the difference of trying to affirm your bias or actually searching for the truth. That's the difference.
Yeah. I mean, but no, he's not. He's also trying to hide it from others. Not just him. It's not. This isn't even just about him. It's that he's trying so that people that are listening, either in this chat or on YouTube, also are become more confused.
Yeah, you know, I actually remember he did say that he agreed there was a 6-mile laser that went straight, and he actually said, "Oh yeah," like, and he just like kind of skipped past that, like
He doesn't
like
believe
it
what he's
doesn't.
saying.
Yeah,
He doesn't actually believe that lasers don't go straight. You know, he don't believe that.
Yeah.
They don't care to know. That's the thing. There's a whole group of young people who fancy themselves intellectuals because they can quickly GPT a topic and regurgitate it back and then not answer questions, completely divert, and play a whole nuh-uh game, right? They tend to have this argumentation almost in the fashion of my dad can beat up your dad. It's very childish. And it's back and forth, rapid fire, quick talking, fast with the tongue, but never actually answering anything and only Googling through a GPT or Claude or whatever spits them back their answers. And they'll repeat that, regurgitate it, not actually learning what they're talking about because they don't care to know the truth. They're just here to act as though they're an intellectual, even though I wouldn't even call them pseudo intellectuals that think that they're winning some sort of debate online.
Yeah, that's why I said he doesn't even rise to the level of pretender clown.
And then you called him a piece of garbage.
He is garbage, dude. Awesome. That's garbage, dude. I don't like this. I mean, if nobody figured out my I mean, you can call it personality flaw. I don't like dishonesty. There's no point in talking about this topic and being dishonest about it. I don't understand the point of lying, making stuff up, just filling in the blanks, and hey, I don't know the answer to that, so just make something up and say it.
Well, I feel like nowadays the internet is ripe with these kind of individuals. They are children, in my opinion, and they've grown up behind headphones on video games, talking smack to their friends. Now they've got AI to help assist them in what they're doing online, and they care not about the truth. They want to fancy themselves intellectuals, act as though they're some sort of influencer. They're some sort of huge debater when they don't actually understand what they're talking about. If you took away their computer and you sat them in front of somebody face to face, first of all, most people would have to restrain themselves from socking these kids in the face because I don't think they've actually been on the playground and had conversations enough to feel what it's like to get 5 fingers to the face.
Oh, dude. Yeah. So lucky you can't stab people over the internet, dude.
Yeah, he's just not taking it seriously. That's it. That's honestly the only.
I think he does take it seriously.
He does?
Dude, he's been doing this for like a year and a half of this identical, rhetorical gimmick, and has put in a lot of effort into it, to the fact where he's actually researched this topic and just to have little blurbs, right? Oh, I'll pull one sentence out of this fucking paper and mischaracterize it and just say it. And then people will think because I said this sentence that I have knowledge about this topic. So I'll say the sentence and then claim the other person is wrong as a refutation of what they said, where they don't actually refute. He doesn't refute it with anything of substance. Hey, what you said is incorrect because X, Y, and Z. You just say some random red herring thing that has nothing to do with it and then say, I don't think you understand it. Right? To give the illusion that somehow they know what they're talking about, that somehow you're on equal footing about the subject, that, you know, in this particular place, the behavior of light, that like he knows as much as we know, and that this is just a disagreement about what the consequences are. No, he knows nothing. Literally nothing.
Oh, okay. So
he knows what to type into Google to have some output from which he's going to read one sentence, and he's going to pick what's the biggest fucking 50-cent word in this paragraph. I'll say that one, and then it'll give people the idea that I know what I'm talking about, because I'm going to say a word, I'm going to say a sentence they don't understand. So I think, oh my God, he's freaking must know what he's talking about. He said diffusion. Because they don't know what diffusion means. They think because he used it, he must know what it means. But he used it in the wrong context, in the wrong application, and has nothing to do with, like I said, if it was diffused, then the intensity of the fucking light would be spread out. That's the point of diffusion. It diffuses it. That's what diffusion is.
Yeah, to be fair, diffusion is a subcategory of scattering, but it's not the same thing. It's not like atmospheric scattering of light.
Yeah,
right?
It's not Rayleigh scattering or Compton scattering or any of that type of scattering.
Exactly.
It's not that.
It's like light being
That's why you
shown
brought up
through
fog, though,
like a
and then
slightly
he had
opaque.
to. You brought up fog, and he had to go back to the same thing, even though you'd already brought up. That's why you almost agreed with the scattering thing, because air can, when there is fog, cause that, right?
Yeah, there's types of scattering, and fog, right, turns the air translucent. But it's not just the air; it's the water vapor that's translucent. But that's a very specific, particular circumstance, right? So we have fog lights, right, in your car or in a truck, fog lights. And even though, like, if there wasn't fog, the beam would be very bright, blinding in your face. But when there is a fog, it diffuses, right? So you see the bright lights, but it's spread out, smeared out.
But I think all of that was just his ultra defensive, like being shown that he's wrong, basically, in that sense. Which was, for me, what was more telling was him thinking that he can corroborate where the light in the sky is, right? And him thinking that was somehow verification, like.
Yeah, well, he's like a usual suspect. I mean, garbage human.
What do you guys think about the north, the Arctic area where all the polarity is like has like a vortex of some kind up in the sky, and it like towers over it?
I never heard
the
about
polarity
any
of
that.
what?
It's like a magnetic shield of some sort that like kind of, this is the flat earth theory, is that there's like the polarity shift has made the top
You're
area
talking
of
about
the
the
dome.
firmament.
Yeah, the dome area, like the top of it has the what do you
Like
call
a giant
the
glass, basically.
electromagnetic whatever.
Yeah, like a giant glass blocking you from going out of space.
Yeah, possibly.
It's better not to make claims that you can't verify. So whenever you, because then you're believing in a religion. That's why.
It's just a theory. Started after the moon landing.
Oh, you said flat Earth. You said theory. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it's a theory.
I thought you said it was fact. Okay. Continue.
No, it's not a fact.
It could be that it's just a shift. I think when the moon phase comes in, that there's an actual shift that happens where uh, the black hole like immerses into it and it comes on the outside. So it's like an inside outside, like a funnel.
You mean eclipse?
No, it's like a funnel. It comes out of one side and it shows up in the other side in the daytime. This is essentially like Helheim or the Hell realm.
Too crazy.
In Norse mythology.
Brother, what?
He's explaining.
So Helheim is the place of the dead. I think it exists before like time starts or whatever, or it's like part of eternity or one of the realms or something. I don't know.
Helheim.
But, yeah.
Okay, it's the afterlife.
Wait, this is what you believe?
Yeah.
There's a black hole passing through the moon.
No, I don't believe in it. It's just that so in Christian terms, I'm Catholic, so in Christian terms, it's just what do you call like Abraham's bosom in as part of hell. Like that's where it's at. Which is like
what's the best evidence for it?
What's the best evidence for it? Yeah,
for what you just said, yeah.
Probably no one except that one guy, that black metal artist Gal, who like talks about like Norse stuff and talks about like Odin and shit, and no one understands what he's saying on YouTube. That guy will probably have some answers, but Gaal, 2 A's and HL.
Okay.
So he's a black metal vocalist, and so this is very similar to the Christian idea of eternity. So it's that eternity sourced in being becomes like this amalgamation of realms or whatever.
I gotta be honest with you. I don't know what you just said. I'm not fully comprehending anything you just said.
What is the point? Basically, you cannot get out of Earth. What is the point of this theory?
No, it's once you get into Helheim realm, like your if you see it, then you know, like you probably died, like you're in an undead state or whatever, and like the aspect or like the outside world, like whatever it is, the dream aspect that holds you just like dissipates into the outside.
Let me get this straight. You can only prove this if you're dead.
Yeah, you can if you're dead.
So you can't talk to dead people, right?
No, but I went through it, so like I'm pretty sure like
you went through this thing.
Yeah, I did. And
you went.
You're here talking to us. You're not dead.
Did you die and they brought you back up? Like your heart stopped for a few minutes?
Something like that. Yeah, it was a weird experience. It was sort of like like those movies where you have that like one teenager just like stuck in like a room, and like everything's like black outside. It's sort of like that.
Wait, so you went to hell? That's what you're saying.
Well, it's not hell exactly. So I think there's parts of it. So there's one that's hellfire, and there's one place that is like Abraham's bosom or the netherworld. And there's one place that is like regular hell, which is like lost souls kind of thing. So yeah, it's.
So you didn't go to heaven, no.
It's not. It's like a purgatory realm basically, and you just land up here at like when you die or whatever. I don't know where it's placed in like the spectrum of time, but I'd say it's probably like part of eternity, right? So yeah, eternity itself it collides with whatever else.
All
right,
so in this realm, you're all connected to the realm anyway at some point.
Wait, so what does this have to do with the ground, the earth?
Yeah, the flat Earth. How is it relevant to flat Earth?
How is it relevant to flat Earth? Because it's sort of like the part of you that is the part of you attribute to yourself. Like you when you grow up, you're kind of like I am what I am, and then you have that moment of premonition where you have to like decrease yourself or whatever stage you go through, like when you're dying, like you have that kind of feeling, that premonition that you're sort of like
Wait, bro, what?
you're living a life. You're living a life, and you're sort of like not.
Sounds like bullshit, dude. He's asked you what it's got to do with flat Earth and stuff.
Yeah, hold on. So it's just your own suspension of disbelief of yourself. That's basically what creates doesn't create it, but you get tossed into it. So some of us get tossed in earlier. I think I was like the first person or whatever.
It's believing. But if you just go outside, you don't have to believe anything to notice that the Earth is not a sphere. There's no globe. Like if you go outside and you see the Earth, there's no evidence of a globe.
Yeah.
This phenomena you're talking about could happen on either flat or globe. So why don't you talk about something that proves one or the other?
Well, it definitely happens on a kind of flat Earth, I guess, because the only explanation would be
You guess.
No,
You can't
the
link
only
it to the flat Earth. Dude, stop talking.
No, it's only
You
the
can't
realm
link it to the flat Earth. Again, it's going to talk. You can't link it to the flat Earth. You just said you guess. It's not relevant to the flat Earth. Just admit it, dude, and let's try and talk about the flat Earth. Don't try and cobble your idea into the flat Earth. It's got nothing to do with it.
All right, cool. So that's about it. Like, I'm happy you questioned me on that.
Are you a flat earther?
I'm not like involved. I live in Mumbai. Like this stuff is all foreign to most people here, so I don't bother like thinking about it or anything.
Are you okay? But you don't believe the Earth is a globe, right?
He probably believes it. But
I have reason to believe that it's like a disc that changes that breaks at a certain point.
Someone's talking.
And what about?
Why do you think it's a disc?
Not a disc.
Hold on, now I'm intrigued. Why do you think it's a disc?
Because it breaks at a certain point, and then you get the opposite of the realm. Like it's sort of like a mirror reflection realm. It's the same realm, but it's
We got a disc earther.
Wait, how do you know it breaks? How do you know it breaks?
It breaks because it goes from sun to moon.
That's not the Earth. That's the sky.
What?
You mean daylight breaks? You mean what do you mean by what is breaking physically? Like what is breaking?
It's like moving. It's like moving 180 degrees the other side, and then just like or whatever 360 degrees, and then it.
Wait,
just,
how do you know the Earth is
appears.
moving? How do you know the Earth is moving?
It's not the Earth. It's not a sphere. It's like a disc that it just changes. It breaks. Then
It's like a disc that changes and breaks. That doesn't make any sense to me, sir.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
It goes through the damn fucking black hole or whatever, and then it comes out the other side.
Oh my god,
this is silly.
This sounds like bullshit to me.
Why are you trolling? That's weird.
I'm actually not trolling. It's
Did you see it? Do you have evidence of a black hole?
I have evidence that there's nothing like the sun's not like the sun projects itself on like a circumference.
No, I'm asking, do you have evidence of the black hole? Yes or no? Just answer yes or no.
I have evidence of the black hole. Yes.
Okay, post it. Let's see it. Demonstrate it.
I don't have it right now, but I have evidence from what I've learned. That's about it.
Right now. If I told you Santa Claus was real and you asked me for evidence and I told you I didn't have it right now, would you believe me?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
But that's a different story, I guess, out of context.
Or you're just telling us a story right now.
You're telling us a story, yeah.
Okay, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. If you meet not Foxy, I'm part of his cult, Christian cult.
Catch you on the flat side.
Yeah, catch you on the flip side or whatever.
The flat side, flat Earth. Get it?
The flip side, get it?
No, not the flip side. The flat side.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, get it.
I get it. Yeah.
All right.
You know your joke's not that good when you have to hold somebody down and make you get it. Do you get it? Do you?
But otherwise, nobody ever. Okay. All right. Is there anyone else that believes the spinning ball space monkey religion globe? Anybody else? Moment of silence. All right. Moment of silence for the globe, guys. Moment of silence.
What's that?
Hello. Do you believe you are on a sphere?
I don't believe. I know.
Okay. What's the best evidence you got that you're on a sphere?
Sorry, first-hand personal knowledge. What's that?
Multi-location consistency.
What is that?
Multiple location consistency. Sorry, you said you know. Can you explain how you know?
Okay, so basically, you can have an observation from 1 point or 2 points, and sure, that can work on a flat or a globe Earth. But if you have observations with 3 or more points, and I'm going to go even up to 1,000 points, 1,000 different cities, and let's say far enough apart, like kind of spread apart. So 1,000 different cities at the same time, and matching one observation with all 1,000 observations is only working with the globe model.
Sorry,
What are we observing?
I'm sorry, Indio. I thought he said he knew. You know the Earth is flat.
Yes.
He said he knows the Earth is a globe.
The globe.
Sorry, my apologies. I've only been up half hour. He knows the Earth is a globe. Do apologise.
And then he started
1,000
talking about
measurements from
1,000
different
people.
cities to what?
So 1,000 different cities, let's say the sun and moon positions at the same time for all 1,000 cities.
But that's the sky.
So?
But we're asking you how you know the Earth is a sphere.
Okay. How
you
do
understand
you
what knowledge is, don't you?
All 1,000.
No, don't ask me to imagine, sir. You said you had first-hand knowledge.
So you're not going to let me answer or explain. So how is it, that you can match 1,000 observations with one single observation on a model, but you can't with any
on a model?
Yeah. This isn't knowledge, dude. You just asked us a question. We're asking you how you know because you claimed you know,
how I know
the Earth is a
that,
sphere.
How we know is because that we have 1,000 different observations at the same time, which show us that we are on a sphere.
How?
Okay,
because for the positions to be consistent with all 1,000 observations, the sun and moon has to be in a specific position to which that only works if you are on a sphere. If you change that in any shape, way, or form, you will not have the same observations for all 1,000 cities.
And if it's observer dependent.
Absolutely basis claim.
Sure, buddy.
The sky does not determine the floor.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
See, that's a straw man.
Just finding 1,000 people, it's not a straw man. Learn what that word means.
Yes, it's a misrepresentation of the arguments of the person. So saying the sky has nothing to do with the ground, that doesn't address the argument.
You can't prove the shape of the ground by looking at the sky.
That
is a logical impossibility.
That is false.
Okay, so tell me how you can make an inductive inference and reach a deductive conclusion.
What kind of question is that?
Because you know that proof has to be deductively, has to be deduced logically, deductively. Now, when you look at the thing that's not the thing,
those are your criteria,
look,
not
ask me a
mine.
question. I'm going to answer. So when you look at the thing, at the thing that's not the thing, namely the sky, to reach conclusions about the ground, you're making an inference from looking at something that is not the thing you're concerned about. Okay.
So you're trying to smuggle in that we're making an inference.
Yes, it's an inference. It's not smuggling it in. That's what it is.
Based on what? So what if it's not?
Because you're not looking at the thing in question. You're looking at something that's not the thing.
Okay. So you're telling me that if I'm inside a car, I can't know that I'm inside a car by looking at what's going on outside the windows?
No. Could be in a plane.
It's not. Yeah, that's an assumption.
Could be in a truck. Could be riding the back of a bird.
Mm-hmm.
If you're only looking out the windows and you're not doing anything else, you don't know if you're in a train. You don't know it. Yeah, that's true. You could be.
Oh, we don't look at anything on the ground either, huh? We don't compare with the ground. We don't have the observation of like where in perspective and in relation to the ground these things are and etc.
Well, then present that. Well, then present that.
Okay. For instance, in Sydney, Australia, you will have a sunrise at the same time. In California, you're going to have a sunset.
Okay, and
that's just two locations. But at the same time, between that, you're going to be at high noon, and people in Argentina will see the sun and moon positions according to this as well. But if you make the Earth flat, then the people in Argentina would have to look in a different direction to see the sun and moon where they actually see it for it to be sun rising and sunsetting for the two other locations. And the more locations you add, the more complications like that are added as well.
First of all, you went back to that. You went back to not looking at the Earth.
Why are you interrupting me? I'm not done speaking.
Because you went back to the first thing, dude. You went back to looking at not the Earth.
No, you're just interrupting me because you don't like the argument I'm making.
Because your argument is the same as your first argument. It's an inductive inference about the sky.
Now you're
reaching a conclusion about the ground by looking at the sky. Is the sun in the sky? Is the sun in the sky? Is the sun in the sky?
The positions in relation to the ground.
How do you know that?
You look at them.
Oh, okay. You're looking at the positions on the ground.
Yeah, you're on the ground. They're okay. And you see, is the sun at the west or at the east?
You stopped looking at the ground.
First question.
Now look back at the ground again.
To the west from where I am.
Now look back at the ground again.
I am on the ground. I'm looking at my ground here. And now I'm looking, the moon is at the east.
Back to the sky.
At the west. All right.
Back to the sky.
Now apply that on 1,000 different cities at the same time.
Okay, you're still making an inductive inference because you're not looking at the ground.
Did you ignore
You're looking at the sun and assuming there's some geometric relationship between the observers.
I am looking at my ground position. I am looking at the ground now. I'm looking at the ground
position. How did you find your ground position?
And in relation, I am on it. I'm here.
Okay, how did you determine what the relative positions of the observers are?
So I determined with a compass where north is. Okay, and I'm looking.
Okay, that won't work.
And I'm looking at the ground.
Okay, that won't work.
Oh, really?
That won't work. Compasses are aligned with the magnetic field.
It won't tell me if where east and west is at the same time.
No, it will not.
Okay, so compasses don't work anymore. Okay.
They work in something called.
I'm going to rest my case on that one. Compasses doesn't work.
Okay, Google magnetic declination. On every military navigation map, it'll have a magnetic declination, which shows you the magnetic north versus the geographic north. You don't know what you're talking about.
No, you're just making red herrings and like.
It's not a red herring.
You're not even addressing anything I'm saying. You're not addressing anything.
Directly what you're saying. You said use a compass. I said the compass won't work. You tried to scoff at that. And then I demonstrated that why it won't work.
The compass won't work. Oh, this tool won't work. Oh, your lighter doesn't work
because
your computer doesn't work. Your processor doesn't work. Your brain doesn't work.
Yeah, straw man. So now there's the straw man. This is actual straw man.
Indio, maybe ask him what magnetic declination is.
Yeah, what is magnetic declination? Well, I just explained it to him.
Yeah, I know he didn't listen, but let's see if he knows or it rings a bell in his head. Do you know what magnetic declination is, sir? Huh. I assume not. Probably.
Chat.
I mean, it's an angle, but why are you asking me petty semantic questions that have nothing to do with my argument?
They do, because you said find where you are by using the compass.
Mm-hmm. Compasses work. I'm sorry.
They follow, sir. Compasses follow magnetic field lines, don't they?
Sure.
Okay. Magnetic field lines don't go from straight north to straight south in 180-degree line. Have you ever studied a magnetic field line map? Do you understand that sometimes magnetic field lines can be 90 degrees off of north and south? This is why Indio brought up the correction, the calculation, the declination that you would use on a map, for example, because your compass won't always be pointing the true way that you think it is. You'd have to do a correction. Only by doing the correction will you actually be able to ascertain true north. You understand this, right?
Well, I mean, if my declination is at, let's say, 15 degrees west, my compass...
Okay, so you understand that we are now going to use declination.
If the declination is at my location.
Okay, but as long as we understand that declination is a thing.
Can I speak a sentence, please?
No, because you're not going to turn around to me and start using declination when I'm just trying to get you to agree that it exists.
I never denied that it exists.
Okay, good.
Bullshit.
So it exists. So we can pass it back to Indio. Stop talking.
Magically not work.
Dude, excuse me. No, you don't need to explain. We brought this, or Indio brought this information to you.
Ask me a question when you want the answer.
Don't need an answer. I just need you to understand that declination exists and not turn around to me like you already knew it.
Okay, and declination exists, but compasses still work.
If you use them correctly.
Duh. The compass is already wired to, if the declination at my location is 15 degrees west, my compass will point at 15 degrees west of true north. Duh!
Okay. You won't know that, though, unless you know what the declination correction is for your location. Duh. Please don't turn around and start educating us about declination, sir.
Petty semantics that have nothing to do with the argument.
Dude, stop that. Okay,
I have to look
your little rhetorical gimmick of claiming things are semantics is not going to work.
Well, I mean,
it's not going to last long. It's not semantics. It's being particular and exact in our language and being rigorous. I know you want to be sloppy, okay, but we're not sloppy thinkers here.
You are, because it is a red herring to shift the topic of conversation away from the original argument and into the semantics of getting your city location, the latitude, the longitude, to get the declination, to make sure that the compass works. How about we say this? If I have a compass and I accounted for declination and I have all the information necessary and my compass is pointing to the right north direction, Therefore, I can have actual sun and moon positions in west, east, south, and north accurately from my ground position. But no, you don't want me to. You don't want to address that. You don't want to let me say this.
You don't know your ground position.
Flat Earth.
No, you don't know your ground position. That's what you're trying to figure out. And you said use the compass. But if you knew the declination at that place, you would already know your position. So then what do you need the compass for?
So, okay, so
you're a fucking idiot.
We do have the ground position. So we do have the ground. So we are using the ground.
Where'd you get that from?
Where'd you get it from? There you go. That's what I was trying to argue.
Where'd you get it from?
We are using our ground position.
Where'd you get it from? Where'd you get it from?
Okay, you get it from by, let's say, I have my city name, and then I can get my latitude and longitude.
Okay, how do you find that?
I have my declination, and with that, etc.
How do you find that?
Semantics. Again, it has nothing to do with the argument.
Not semantics. You're talking about coordinates. And those coordinates, there's a whole system of coordinates called an arbitrary coordinate reference system. You say latitude and longitude, they mean specific things. They're not ready. Dude, you're getting banned, okay? Not dealing with this shit, dude. You're a child.
Your whole argument is a red herring.
He doesn't have an argument. He has a bunch of fucking smirking and fucking gimmicks.
We're trying to argue that the sun and the moon is telling them that the Earth is curved.
Yeah, that sky does not determine the floor. It's over. GG.
Yeah, but if you take 1,000 measurements.
If I look at my ceiling 1,000 times in a different place and I record my
He said, the funny thing is he started, just take 1,000 observations. Of what? He didn't even say observations of what you're even looking at.
Yeah, that was my first question.
Dude, man, politics is slipping, dude. The people in here, the last 2 days I've been in here, they're really, like TikTok is looking good, dude. Like the people on TikTok are looking like freaking rocket scientists compared to the people that have been in this chat from this server. It's like they can't even follow what you're saying. Now, you can chalk that up to maybe they're not listening. That's a possibility. But I think that you start saying words and they just don't understand them and they just go blank and go right into narrative mode. And that I don't know how many times today, just today, that it's like, oh, I don't understand what's being said. I'll just say whatever they're saying is a logical fallacy. There's even nothing to do. I'll say it's semantics. If you know your latitude and longitude, well, how'd you find that? That's semantics. What do you find in the position? What do you just want it for free?
The Indian kids with the broken English on the English server do better than this,
Dude,
you know?
that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. I was saying that this morning. Like, English Hub is making these guys look bad. And that's like high school kids in foreign countries. They can't even speak English. They comprehend more of what you're saying and are more coherent in their responses.
These cats only wish they had the excuse of language barrier.
Look, we're trying to demonstrate the relationship, saying, hey, look at the sky. Okay. How do we know the relationship of positions on the ground in the sky? Look at the compass. Okay, that isn't going to tell you where you are relative to some other person when they look at their compass. Even know the declination, that means you already know their position. And you wouldn't need to look at the compass. How'd you find position in the first place? Oh, use latitude and longitude. Oh, how do you find that? That's semantics. No, that's what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out the Earth, its relationship of these 1,000 observers to each other, so that when they look in the sky, we can draw a conclusion about the direction they're looking, where they're looking at it from, their distance apart from each other, the geometric relationship between them, their lines of sight, and the fucking things in the sky. Now, would that take me? A minute and a half to explain that? It's not complicated. It's very simple.
I'm looking for it, but essentially, like I said, it's a correction. So they're both measuring it and they're calculating it out again. But that's
and what are they comparing this correction to in order to know that it's right and or wrong?
You can say that they're just wrapping it around a ball or something, but
yeah, that's not what I said. Start listening. What are they comparing it to in order to understand they are right or wrong? They need to compare it to something. We've gone out, we've taken our measurement. You've got your 5-degree angle. Now, what are you going to compare it to know that you're either right or that you're wrong? Exactly.
It's a
This is
different
completely
question.
a pedagogical mental exercise that has nothing to do with any actual surveying. Nothing to do with it.
He asked me to look up something, so I'm trying to get an actual surveying site.
Okay. Yeah. No worries. Take your time. Just send me the DM after.
Yeah, retroactively find your evidence after you already believe it. You know, if you read any of the surveys that have been done, like the North American Datum or any of them, in the beginning, they tell the procedure for what they do. You could just read that.
Right. So this is the National Geodetic Survey NOAA manual for geodetic leveling. I think this is going to be a good enough resource.
DM it to me. Yeah, DM it to me.
I like how he says he thinks. That's the problem why you're here, boy, because you don't.
2.0, dude. We already dealt with brown recluse in this fucking random nonsense obscurantism bullshit. You're literally on here to make people more confused. You're here to prevent information from being transferred.
Should we move on? Just really quick before we move. Before we continue with Dylan, is there any other Globers in here? Any new people that believe in the
You got that geodetic? I bet you it's a fucking website too.
Oh yeah, he just DM'd. Okay, let me paste it.
So this is the NOAA manual NOS NGS3 geodetic leveling supersedes Coast and Geodetic Survey Special Publication 239. Manual of Geodetic Leveling, published revised in 2020.
Okay, let me.
This manual furnishes instructions and background information suitable for establishing and maintaining vertical control. It presents general specification and detailed instructions for reconnaissance and benchmark setting, geodetic leveling, water and valley crossing, blah, blah, blah. So this should be totally legitimate.
Should be or is be?
Geodetic leveling, chapter 3.
The only question now, does it have anything to do with what you posted?
Well, that's sort of besides the point. The point is...
How is that besides the point? That's the whole point.
What do you think the point is of our conversation right now? I'm saying geodetic
they do this.
measures the
this
curvature.
Gemini flash when they do surveying.
I'm just gonna search Earth's curvature, see if it comes up.
So if they're doing this, and then the surveying manual says they're doing something else, then they're not doing what you said.
I'm not saying I can't be wrong or wasn't wrong. My main point is that they measure curvature, and that they
don't.
They correct for it with a calculation.
They do not measure curvature, dude.
Well,
if they measured curvature
with their
Dylan,
angle.
If they measured curvature, there'd be no point of needing an oblate ellipsoid. There'd be no point of having the WGS 84 datum.
Okay, so you understand that they don't want the curvature in their elevation maps.
Okay.
Is this kid stupid or what?
Look, dude.
Because this is
for elevation. For elevation, what you find is for elevation, what you find is the orthometric height, which is a combination of the geoid and the WGS 84 reference ellipsoid. You don't know anything about any of this, dude.
You obviously don't understand it, and I'm trying to explain it to you.
Remember what I was saying earlier about brown recluses, their shtick? You literally just did it, dude. As soon as you point out in actual detail that you don't know, you say, I don't understand it.
What do you think I'm saying?
What is the what is the WGS 84?
It sounds like it's a reference ellipsoid. It's a shape of the Earth.
And no, it's not the shape of the Earth.
It's a model of the shape of the Earth, right?
It's a reference ellipsoid, and it's an imaginary mathematical surface that measurements are projected onto. Okay? But it's not done just that way. Because of deflection of the vertical, they use something called the EGM 2003 Earth Gravitational Model, which is called the geoid, which would be the equipotential surface of gravity if you measure 9.8 meters per second squared. Basically, imaginary mean sea level, even if the water went under mountains and shit. They use a combination of this to get something called the orthometric height, which is the subtraction of one from the other, or the addition, depending on whether the geoid extends above or below the reference ellipsoid. But the reference ellipsoid is used because they don't measure curvature. Because when they do their measurement, they take an actual surveying instrument. The first thing you do is level the instrument. Okay? And because in geodetic surveying, the plumb line is not perpendicular to the surface of the Earth because of lumpy gravity, right? And the fact that to map it, to project it, you need the plumb to intersect the reference ellipsoid at 90 degrees, but you have tilted plumb lines. That shit don't work. You don't know what you're talking about. You've imagined geodetic surveying to work one way. It's purely your imagination.
What do you think I'm saying?
I don't think you know what you're saying. That's the problem.
You said that they measure Earth's curvature. They do not.
Well, then why would they consider the reference ellipsoid in order to correct for their measurements?
The reference ellipsoid, for the purpose of that, is to preserve the celestial sphere coordinate system.
If they're just creating elevation maps and there is no curvature, then it wouldn't be
elevation relative to what?
If they're just measuring elevation with planar
relative
survey,
to what?
What do you mean relative to what? Like
relative
sea level?
To what? Sea
elevation
level.
Relative
That's
to
the
sea
geoid.
Level?
That's the geoid. That's the imaginary equipotential surface of gravity.
So you may disagree with what I'm saying.
You don't have any clue what you're talking about. In arguing about it.
I feel the
You're
same
getting
way
the
about
same shit. You, Brown Recluse, JJ Fish, you come in here and you try to fucking bamboozle people. And I'm fucking sick of it.
It's just my perspective, you know, for sure.
My perspective. Okay, let's use Dylan's personal opinion of how he thinks the world works and not how it actually works. Let's go with that. How do you feel, Dylan? How does Dylan feel the Earth is? Let's ask Dylan, how do you feel the Earth is? Let's just go with that. Let's follow your feelings around.
It's considered a correction if you don't understand that they're measuring for curvature. They're measuring the curvature and then removing it. Then I don't know what else to tell you, man.
Because they're not doing that.
What do you think they're doing with it?
Assume.
Oh my God! I told you what.
Dylan, why'd you say they assume curvature if they're measuring it? Why'd you earlier? You said they were assuming it.
They're doing both, right? They're assuming, just like I said with the refraction, right? You can take an elevation measurement with, and if you don't assume refraction, you're going to get an error caused by the refraction.
So they need to assume curvature to measure it? Is that what you're saying?
No, they assume the curvature to cancel the curvature out.
What?
Of they call it spherical exceedance or spherical excess.
Spherical excess.
That's the actual measurement, quote unquote, of the curvature.
Okay,
and
you
then
don't
they're
understand what
using
spherical
the
excess
known
is.
calculation of the curvature of the Earth.
You don't understand what spherical excess is. Spherical excess would be if you had 3 lines of sight and made a triangle, that triangle would internal angles would sum to greater than 180 degrees. This is not a measurement. You couldn't even measure this because lines of sight are straight. And 3 straight lines connected by 3 vertexes make a triangle that's 180 degrees. Spherical excess is not measured. It is made up by projecting a fucking regular planar triangle onto a reference ellipsoid. You ask what it's for, that's what it's for. So they do something called reduction of the horizontal direction. They take their measurements and they reduce them to quote unquote mean sea level. But when they do that reduction, it has to intersect the reference ellipsoid at some angle. And because they think they have tilted verticals and deflection of the vertical and lumpy gravity, for that to be 90 degrees to the surface of the Earth, okay, that means that plumb lines have to be curved. It's way more convoluted than what you're imagining it to be.
The plumb lines intersect.
The plumb lines curve?
At the center. Plumb lines do not
don't.
curve.
If it's an oblate ellipsoid, that's not true, dude.
A plumb line just points down, correct?
Is it perpendicular to the surface of the Earth? Is it a straight line?
It's a straight line.
Not in geodetic surveying.
A plumb line is straight down. It is
not in geodetic surveying.
A plumb line is straight down and it's perpendicular to the.
Yeah, not in geodetic surveying.
I don't know what you're on about.
Plumb lines in geodetic surveying are curved and they don't go straight down. It's called deflection. It's called deflection of the vertical.
Okay. What are we talking about? Deflection of the vertical. What the hell is that?
It's curved plumb lines because of lumpy gravity.
You say because of what? Because of gravity? What?
Lumpy gravity.
Lumpy gravity. Oh my gosh. Indio,
I don't believe this shit. This is your idea.
No, it's the way that you try to interpret it is so.
It's not an interpretation.
It is.
It's not an interpretation.
You're looking. Whatever.
Okay, I'll read from curvature of the plumb line.
Like your pear-shaped Earth.
Deflection of the vertical changes with position along the curved plumb line. Therefore, the deflection of the vertical at the geoid does not necessarily equal that of the Earth's surface, and vice versa. In order to equate these two quantities, the curvature of the plumb line between the geoid and Earth's surface, WGS 84, is required. This quantity cannot be observed directly because of the presence of topography, so must be estimated using a model of the Earth's gravity field within the topographical masses.
How much of a deviation
is that? What did I interpret out of that?
You interpreted an extreme level of deviation that makes you think that proves that the Earth is flat when it doesn't.
Dude, what did I interpret out of what I just said?
You interpret that the deviation is so extreme that it somehow proves that the Earth is flat.
Who said extreme? Who said anything about the extremity of it?
What is the deviation? What is the scale of the deviation? 1/8 of an inch?
You will answer questions or you will leave.
There you go.
That is your only choice.
I don't care, dude.
Bye.
I'll see you in 2 days. Fuck you.
No, you won't. Obscurantism. Will not tolerate it anymore. I've had enough. In here to fucking hide the truth.
Yeah. Just before we.
Well, hold on. One more thing. I just want to make one last post to just substantiate what I said. This is from Featherstone, WE, 6 Southeast Asian Survey Congress. The use and abuse of vertical deflections. Proceedings of the 6 South Asian Surveyors Congress. Fremantle, November 1999. I'm gonna post the diagram from there.
Okay, I can read this part here from the NOAA manual. It says the sources of error in leveling can be classified into 3 groups: those affecting the line of sight, those affecting the heights observed, and blunders. The line of sight cannot be exactly level because of the effects of the imperfections in the instrument and variations in the human eye, refraction, curvature, and tidal accelerations. The heights observed are not exact because of imperfections, blah, blah, blah. So curvature is considered an error that has to be accounted for when they measure it.
Look, dude, they're not measuring curvature. It's not even possible with the fucking instrument. They measure angles, but those angles have a starting reference position. Okay? And if that vertical line from which they're measuring a dip, because the curvature would be measured as a dip angle, okay? If you're not plumb, if that plumb is not perpendicular to the surface of the earth in the first place, you're not measuring curvature. It's like you don't understand what they're doing. Like I can't. Do you not understand? They take an instrument and level it. That level is not perpendicular to the surface of the earth. Do you understand what that means? It's not straight up and down, dude.
Level is tangent to the surface of the earth, right?
Level is not tangent to the surface of the earth. Horizontal level in geodetic surveying is 90 degrees from the plumb line at the point of the instrument. You guys just make up your own shit. And try to say you're using surveying. You're not.
This is just language that I'm using. Maybe you don't understand what a tangent is. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's my lack of understanding. Yeah, that's what it is.
I just read from you from the manual that curvature is considered an error, is considered something that needs to be corrected.
Welcome to flat Earth, then. I consider it an error.
If it's an error, then it's something that they're measuring, and it needs to be corrected for.
They're correcting it out?
That's what they use the calculation for. That's
okay, what units of measure are they measuring curvature in? That they're getting this erroneous reading?
Whatever height measurement that they're making.
What do you mean whatever? So feet, inches?
Yes.
So they're measuring a height?
Yes.
Okay. And they're like say the field are like 6 feet. And they level the instrument. And when they look through the telescope, their crosshair is looking at 5 feet 11 inches. Is that curvature? Or is that refraction? Or is that the tilted fucking plumb line?
That's the refraction and curvature are both part of the measurement that they make, and that's why they have to correct for those.
How do you know it's not the tilted plumb line?
That's not the accurate height.
How do you know it's not the tilted plumb line?
Well, the plumb lines at point A and point B are going to have a slight angle difference because they're at different positions. But I don't know what you mean by a curved plumb line.
The plumb line is not perpendicular to the surface of the earth. The first thing you do when you set up a theodolite is level it. 90 degrees is the horizontal line from that plumb, even if that plumb is fucking tilted. You just don't get it, dude. You've imagined something, and you're so stuck in your imagination, you can't even conceive of the way it actually works. It's crazy, dude. It's like you're in a fucking weird cult, dude.
Ditto.
Okay, you see that diagram I posted? The curvature of a plumb line diagram?
Let me take a look.
That's the first time you looked at it. Unbelievable.
The 1208?
Yeah, that. See that diagram?
I see the diagram.
See all the little squares? So you got dashed lines, and then you got the plumb line, and you got all these little squares. Those indicate 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Now, if I draw a horizontal line off of those plumb lines are not parallel. They're all over the place. So I'm going to draw it out. But you're not getting, dude.
This doesn't seem to be relevant to the.
Oh, yeah. Now it's not relevant.
It doesn't seem to be relevant. Tell me how
it is relevant.
Well, I gave you the document. The curvature is considered an error. They use the reference geometry of the Earth in order to cancel out
the geometry of the Earth. It's an imaginary fucking mathematical surface.
That's imaginary. How you feel about it, but that's what they're doing.
Who cares? It's not the Earth. They can do all the mental exercises they want. Nobody cares.
Yeah, that's what you want supposedly evidence of people measuring the curvature of the Earth, but when
you haven't given any yet. All you've given evidence of is you have no idea what you're talking about. You see all these red lines in the diagram I just posted? All of these are horizontal lines. All of these red lines are horizontal lines, dude.
You keep repeating yourself. What is your point?
So, if I take a theodolite and I measure the vertical, say I'm at the top there, I'm at that top line, and my theodolite's 6 feet off the ground, and I sight in, and like you said, if I sight in at 5 feet 11, that's the curvature of the Earth. No, that's not the curvature of the Earth, because this horizontal line is pointed fucking up. You don't have a vertical that's perpendicular to the surface of the Earth from which to draw the conclusion that dips are curvature or refraction or any other thing.
So you're saying that surveyors can't.
They're saying it.
Elevation?
They're saying it.
That it's impossible to measure accurate heights. This is the technique that people are using to produce elevation maps.
Oh my God.
Are they not producing?
So you're going to straw man. You're going to straw man what I said.
Well, you're talking about your diagram.
Who said anything about measuring accurate heights? When did I say anything about accurate heights? When did I say anything about accurate heights?
That's what we're talking about. That's why I'm saying you're derailing the conversation.
No, it's not what we're talking about, liar.
What do surveyors do?
We're talking about measuring the curve of the Earth. Remember? You tried to straw man me saying that measuring a dip off that horizontal is not the curvature of the Earth. You have a tilted plumb line because your horizontal line is not perpendicular to the surface of the Earth. And you tried to say, I'm saying they can't measure accurate heights. You are a fucking weasel. Fuck, dude. How many is it going to be today? Lying fucking snakes. Now, despite your best effort, Dylan, people that are listening, they did learn something. I did educate them on how this shit works. I did not let you fucking confuse them with your bullshit. With your fucking fantasy of how geodetic surveying works and how they measure curvature and how they correct for curvature. They don't do any of that shit in reality. Oh, Eskimo. Aren't you the one that posted that 3 picture thing earlier? Something dipped over the horizon? Eskimo Greg?
Yeah, I have nothing to say to you, man.
Yeah, that's from a video game. That was from a video game.
You're retarded.
That was from a video game, Eskimo Greg. Why did you post? Yeah, you better leave. Posted something from a fucking Steam video game
just got
and said that it was the
bro.
curve of
Just
the earth.
Take it easy. Take it easy for a little bit.
I don't need your help, dude. I'm sick of liars, dude. It's just like a parade of liars, one after the other.
Just balance. Just
Who cares, dude?
A little bit.
So, no. Stop defending liars.
Oh, they left. Man, there's like there's like 3 trolls, one after the other, right there. You know what's crazy? I heard Dylan say they have to assume it and measure it at the same time. He said we assume Earth curvature and we measure it. Like, what the heck?
They fucking admit in surveying they don't measure Earth curve. They admit it. Only retard anti-flat earthers on the internet say they measure Earth curve.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious. I've seen surveying where they said the only thing we actually measure in surveying is the gravitational potential. And that is really all they measure because that's what their instrument measures. They leveled the instrument. That is the spatial reference. What the Earth, look, the Earth could be gone, right? Or fucking transparent or unseen. And you could take the instrument, right? And set it up. And you could level it. The instrument itself is oriented not relative to the Earth, but it's oriented relative to the gravity vector. Okay? That gravitational vector is what you're measuring. You're not measuring the surface of the Earth. Now, in geodetic surveying, all they do is map the topography relative to the gravitational vector within a celestial sphere coordinate system, namely latitude and longitude. It's 3 mappings. Well, it's 2 mappings and kind of like a filter with the WGS, or with the gravitational model being the filter. The point is, doesn't work. You guys imagine it works a certain way because it's like, if I want to measure a fucking ball and really, this is what I would do. But the Earth's a ball, so this is what they're doing in real life. They're not doing it that way. They're not doing anything. Whatever you imagine they're doing, they're not doing.
I actually had another question. When Dylan was saying like they needed a 90 degrees for the sextant, I was thinking they used the Earth, because in order to get 90 degrees, they need 2 straight lines, right? But the Earth in their worldview is curved. So is it true, Indio, that the tangent or whatever they're using for the 90 degrees, that bottom line, is that a straight line? Because it's on a curved Earth. So how can it be straight?
What do you mean? The only time they're finding 90 degrees is if they use a bubble sextant.
Oh, okay. So are they using the Earth in that case? In that 90-degree
They're
thing?
using there's a level inside the sextant. It's called a bubble sextant.
Okay. They're not using the surface of the Earth as a as one of the lines as 90 degrees is what I meant.
No.
Okay.
No.
That sounds better actually.
And then you run into the same issue as you do with the because that's what the theodolite uses. A bubble level. I mean, some use prisms now, but it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It just finds the fucking gravity vector, and and the surveying part just tells you the relationship of the topography to the gravity vector in the celestial sphere. And they take that and they map that to a reference ellipsoid. But they don't map it like a projection. They map it point-wise using curved plumb lines. So it's a mapping function. It's really kind of like a filter. That's the way I think of it. It's almost like a, where they take, imagine like you're ray tracing and you were projecting your ray tracing through a filter that curved the ray trace lines to have certain relationships. That's what they're doing. They're running it through this like filter before they project it onto this reference ellipsoid.
Got it.
You gotta think there's like layers. There's the sky, and then there's the reference ellipsoid, but then there's also the measurements, right? So that's like, there's the sky, there's the actual measurements, there's the reference ellipsoid, and then there's the geoid, right? With the geoid is finding, hey, what's the relationship of gravity to the surface of the Earth? It can't straight just use the sky. It doesn't, I mean, I know it's hard for these guys to believe, but it doesn't match up. And that's why they're doing all this. The reason it's this complicated is because it's hard to get a ball from flat measurements.
I have a question for the flat Earth believers.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So, and this is just me genuinely curious. So, assuming the Earth is flat, like, does everybody, like, in this model, like, live on one side of Earth, or are there people like living on like?
It's not a disc.
Oh, okay. So what is?
There's no outside the Earth, dude. There's no underneath.
Okay. So everybody.
There's no edge. There's no outside. There's no underneath. There's none of those things.
Okay, so could you explain the model then? Because I don't.
Model of what?
Of like a flat Earth.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, dude.
So like
the shape is the overall shape. The overall shape is unknown. The size is unknown. But flat is not a shape. So we're not claiming a shape. We're just claiming that it's not curving, and the size is unknown. And we're not floating in space or anything crazy like that. Especially without we're not in a vacuum without a container.
Okay, so we're all, regardless of the size, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to get an understanding. We're all like on a plane.
Yes, topographical plane. It's mostly water, right? So.
Right. So there is a lot of water. So we're all on a plane, and so when we look up, we're all looking at the same sky.
Depending on where you are, if you're close to somebody, you're looking at the same sky.
Well, I mean, if it's like,
look, bro, like if you were in Walmart and you looked up, would you be looking at the same ceiling as somebody on the other side of Walmart?
Well, it depends where I'm looking.
Well, you're not going to, if Walmart's big enough, you're not going to see what's over their head.
I mean, let's just say, I mean, that's a great example. Let's say if the Walmart had 500 feet ceilings, that it was just empty. And if anybody looked up at any point, you would wager, unless there were like other things in the way, that you could see like the four corners. Let's assume it's a square Walmart. You would likely be able to see all, regardless of where you're standing within Walmart, you'd be able to see all four corners, right?
No.
Why?
Because of perspective.
I mean, again,
you ever draw this before? You know, the horizon is and the vanishing point and all those things.
If there's no obstruction, you would be able to.
Perspective, I said. Do you know what perspective is?
Yeah, I understand what
You know how you look down a long hallway and they converge to a point?
Right, but we're talking about like a ceiling.
Yeah, the ceiling appears to come down, the floor appears to come up, and the walls appear to close in.
I don't know if maybe you understand what I'm talking about.
Does the floor on a long hall, does the ceiling on a long hallway appear to come down towards the floor?
No, we're talking about like a big warehouse. I mean, it doesn't appear to. I mean, I've been in like giant warehouse buildings.
Okay, but yes, even in a warehouse, the ceiling of the warehouse will appear to come down.
I've never seen that.
It'll converge to a vanishing point. It's perspective. It's how just when you have a 3D world projected onto a 2D surface, that's how it works. That's how images are formed.
You ever seen a deck of clouds in the distance and how a deck of clouds?
Right, but I'm talking about. I mean,
down?
in extreme distances, sure, but I'm talking like specifically about like a scenario in which you're like in a Costco. Like, imagine you're in a Costco, right? And there's nothing inside of the building. At any point, wherever you're standing, you'd be able to see all four corners of it. At any point.
No, like he just told you, because of perspective. It depends on how big it is.
The size of the Costco, dude.
Okay, let's say a reasonable Costco within the visible milestone of what humans can see.
Okay, how far do you think humans can see just because of the air? Not curvature.
Well, let's just make it. I mean, we don't have to get ridiculous with it because I don't know the scientific definition of how far humans can see. Again, let's say 500 feet in the air.
I already know where you're going with this.
Let's say 500. No, okay, but I mean, you asked me the question, so.
Why can't I see the end of the Earth? Why can't I see the Mount Everest from China?
That's not what I was gonna get to. That's not what I was gonna get to, at all. So,
how far do you think you should be able to see, dude?
That I would like to discuss what I was talking about.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to, we can. I don't know. I don't know.
Like, listen, most Costco's they're not 100 fucking a million square meters.
I know, but it was a thought experiment. It was a thought experiment.
The corners of a normal Costco.
It was a thought experiment. I'm just simply asking you to rationalize and think about a Costco that is, let's say, 1,600 square feet. Okay, and it is completely empty inside of it. At any point in which you stand in this Costco, if you look up, you would be able to see each of the corners, assuming there is no blockage within. Like, there's nothing blinding you, like there's no light obscuring your vision, and there is no like tall aisles. Let's assume that it is completely empty. You'd be able to see all four corners regardless of where you're standing in the Costco. Yes?
Okay, I already told you. It depends on how large the Costco is.
I just gave you I told you 1,500 square feet.
Dude, that's like 20 by 20 or something, dude.
So yes?
Tiny.
So yes?
Yeah, in a 1,600 foot Costco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the size of your house.
Okay. So distance and scale matters.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. We have a baseline. I like that. So,
but you have distance, but it matters. But as far as Costco goes, things like Costco, you have things called distance cues. You have an idea of the size of objects, and because the floor isn't some uniform thing, so you typically made it with tiles, you can see from the orientation of the tiles and how they're getting smaller, how far away things are. So there's other cues we use to judge distance. None of that works for the sky because all the stars look the same distance. So all the distance cues that you would use to look at a floor, you can't use for the sky.
You can. Because why do we see different stars in different hemispheres? Why does the northern hemisphere see different stars?
You don't have a hemisphere.
Southern hemisphere.
You don't have a hemisphere.
I understand. I understand that you don't believe that we do, but
I know we don't.
You could literally go to. I mean, have you ever been to Australia and taken a picture of the night sky and then compared that
Didn't
to?
we just do this yesterday?
I've never spoken to you in my life.
Okay, I just did this with somebody else yesterday.
I mean, that's just the biggest, like, that's just like the biggest example of how you can nakedly see with your own eyes that, I mean, if it's not a globe, like and I'm not going to say your model because you haven't given me a model. which is fair. There are different variations of what different flat earthers believe, and that's completely fair. But within the sphere, right, within the globe model, it is explained every single time how that could work. And the flat Earth model does not have an answer for it.
Okay, you're full of shit. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't have a sphere from which there can be a hemisphere.
Okay.
Just don't say magic buzzwords, dude.
That
shit don't work in here. We deal with evidence, okay? So really simple, okay? For the same reason, how far is Australia away from, say, Canada?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I don't know that.
Like 15,000 miles or something.
Yeah, I'm assuming you would have to look that up too, right?
Okay. Well, I know UK to Australia is something like 10,000 miles. Okay. So I'm assuming Canada's 5,000 miles further because it's across the Atlantic. So
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
15,000 miles, let's say. Okay. The sky is going to appear to come down and converge into the horizon. In the ground, it is going to appear to ramp up and converge into the horizon. Now, you're not going to see all the stars. The only stars you're going to see over your head are the stars over your head. Stars that are 1,000 miles away, they're not going to look like they're over your head. Why would they look like they're over your head?
If the Earth was somewhat flat, you would. If the Earth was somewhat flat,
that is nonsense. It's nonsense. So if I walk around on a flat Earth, the stars that are over my head in Australia follow me around.
They wouldn't follow you around, but they would look. You would be able to see the same stars. You would be able to see them. They might look skewed. They might look different. But what I'm saying
Why would I see the same stars?
That's what I'm asking you. You wouldn't.
No, I'm asking you. You're making the prediction that on a flat Earth you would see the same stars. Why is that?
You'd be able to. Well, because ultimately you're looking up.
Okay. And
you're presenting the idea or making the notion.
Are all the stars in the sky at zenith?
Are they what? Sorry?
At zenith. Zenith is directly over your head.
Well, I believe in a globe Earth, so
okay.
No.
Zenith exists on a globe Earth too. Are all the stars
but the Earth is rotating
directly over your head?
Some stars are, but at different times during the day.
I can walk out from underneath that star, right?
I mean, you can like walk away and still see the same star.
Yeah, but I can walk out from underneath it so that the star is no longer directly over my head.
Well, I think that's more so the rotation of the Earth that's doing that. But yeah, I mean, like you moving would absolutely add to it.
Oh yes, the star wouldn't be able. That's not exclusive to a fucking globe, dude.
Oh, you mean to like a flat?
Yeah, to move around and to have different stars over my head because I moved around.
Right, but
that's not exclusive to a globe.
Maybe I could like explain it a little bit more on a smaller scale. Like if I look up at my
you came with a gotcha and it's fucking dumb, dude.
That's not an I gotcha, bro. I literally was just asking questions. You're just being so like really like I get it. You're very
steel man what I said. Steel man my argument.
I'm not trying to steal you.
Steel man my argument.
Questions. I'm just asking questions.
Steel man my argument. I want to make sure you're listening.
Is anybody actually enjoying
I want to make sure you're listening. Steel man my argument.
And what argument? You've made no argument.
Yes, I have.
What
Steel man my argument.
Your argument was that we can move under stars.
That's
literally the only
thing you said. Over my head. That if stars are in one place, over one spot, and I said this way back when we were talking about Walmart, that the lights over my head on one side of Walmart are not the same lights that are going to be over my head if I'm on the other side of Walmart.
They're not the same lights, but you can still see the same lights.
If I can walk across, depends on the size of the Walmart, because eventually, because of perspective, they are going to merge into the vanishing point. And they're going to be undifferentiable from the horizon itself.
All right. I got a great answer for you. So throughout times of the day, if you walked through that Walmart and literally took pictures in I don't know, let's say a 10 square foot square. And you literally took a picture. You took a picture.
Just pretend I didn't say it.
I'm literally answering you.
You're answering how the stars don't follow me around over my head. That's your answer
well,
right
to
now.
be fair, you didn't answer what I said. I literally asked you a question that you never answered from the beginning, and I've just been entertaining this.
What was the question?
Why do we see different stars in the northern and southern hemisphere that you
I
can't
answer
see
that.
otherwise?
Perspective.
No, you
don't
didn't.
have
You didn't.
hemispheres.
You didn't answer that. You didn't answer.
I said perspective. The sky comes down, the ground ramps up, and they vanish into the horizon, which is the vanishing point.
Okay.
It's called the vanishing point. Take an art class, dude.
Okay. That's great. That's great. But there
is basic
there are literally no astronomers that would agree with you.
Who cares?
Oh.
That's how weak your argument is. Now it's an appeal to credentials.
An appeal to authority. Yes. Yeah, that's a great fallacy. I also don't go to doctors when I need a medical treatment. I go to somebody that works at Pizza Hut.
And that's a false equivalence.
That I don't think so.
I do.
I think it's close, but not quite. Because if you're going to discount every single astronomer, is there any astronomer that you
the all or nothing
find any
fallacy.
credence into?
So any more logical fallacies you want to stack on? Any more logical fallacies would you like to stack on?
Would you like to answer my question?
Any more logical fallacies would you like to stack on?
No. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah. Okay. Go try somewhere else with your bullshit, bro. One after the other, fucking dude. It's like literally a fucking parade of fucking speds.
Yeah. All right, next.
And what the most aggravating fucking thing is, like I said before, they are not trying to figure out what the truth is. They are just trying to hide it.
Yeah.
In the case of this guy, he's just trying to quote unquote win the debate.
Another lights in the sky type argument.
Dude, I answered it right off the bat. If I walk to the other side of Walmart, there's different lights over there. It's real simple. If Walmart's real small, that ain't true. But we're comparing it to the Earth. You're asking me, why does it happen on Earth? Earth isn't the size of Walmart.
They're always looking. Yeah, this one. You know what's crazy? I actually prefer Dylan's argument to this argument because at least Dylan is looking at the Earth, or at least kind of looking at the Earth. You know what I mean? This one, he's just looking up at the sky. So
I don't like Dylan's motives. That's my problem with him.
Yeah. Hello, Nick James and Talent X. Are you guys globe earthers?
I'm a glober.
You believe the Earth is a globe?
I know the Earth is a globe. Knowledge.
Okay. Why do you believe the Earth is a globe?
Well, I don't believe it. I know that the Earth is a globe. It's knowledge.
Oh. Okay. How do you know?
Because there's facts and evidence.
Okay. Name one fact.
It's measured, and there's a picture of it.
Can you post the measurements? Let's see. Let's see.
You want to see the?
Let's see the measurement. Yeah, post the measurement in the chat. Let's see it.
Okay. I don't have permission, but I can send it to you.
DM it to me, yeah.
Called the Great Trigonometrical Survey. The direct physical measurement of the surface of the Earth.
Okay, let me see.
You're welcome to post it in the chat.
Got it. Okay.
It's very
right,
famous.
Let me read this 1 sec.
There's a lot of coping and seething that goes on behind due to the Great Trigonometrical Survey.
Let me post a picture.
So I have read the survey.
Yeah, I'm just,
just you guys misunderstand what corrections are, what calculations are, what measurements are, especially clipcord. Well, they're not even in the voice chat. It's so weird how many people you have it.
Did they hang on one second. Oh, they use theodolites, right? They use a theodolite?
Yep.
Okay, wait, let me see here.
Towers and survey towers.
Literally went over all this.
Custom instruments.
Wait. Is this the same? Okay, sorry. Theodolite. For the theodolite, are you using? You need 90 degrees, right? Like a 90-degree angle.
Well, they got over 180 degrees. It was a 300. It's about
Sorry.
4,000 mile radius, give or take.
Let me
a little bit less.
Okay, so when they're using the theodolite, they're measuring an angle, so they need
Correct.
two straight lines. So can you describe what the two straight lines are?
Well, you can see they're triangles. It's thousands of straight lines. Do you see the picture, the blue lines on the map? If you look at the blue lines on the map of India.
Let me check. Oh yeah. Let me post that. Yeah.
Right. They use triangulation.
Okay, one sec. Let me see.
Yeah, see, I have a little diagram of how triangulation reveals the curve.
Straight lines. Okay.
When the angle is greater than 180, angle sum.
Is there a physical? Hold on. Let me see the Wikipedia again. I'm trying to look for like a real life physical theodolite demonstration where they.
Hi, YouTube.
Where they did it.
How does that work? That is how they did triangulation.
What do they aim the theodolite at?
A mirror. A point of reference.
They're aiming the theodolite at a mirror?
Yeah. And there's two at the other side.
Okay.
On the other side of the line.
I don't see a mirror in here.
They're shining a mirror. That's separate. They just take a mirror. It's just like a 8x10 size mirror. They shine the sunlight at the.
Wait, in your Wikipedia, I don't see any mention of a mirror. Where's the citation for the mirror? Or is that just like a default theodolite thing?
Yeah, that's the default.
So there's a mirror like inside the theodolite? Is that what you're saying?
No. The theodolite's aimed at the other side, the other point, which has a mirror.
Oh, okay. So they're aiming it somewhere in the distance, and then there's a mirror at
like when you see how triangulations reveal curvature. So they go from like point tower to tower. So you have to go theodolite on one side and the mirror on the other, and then you get the measurement.
Is there like a physical demonstration where they're aiming it at is there like a one instance that shows a real life demonstration where someone has a theodolite, they're pointing it at a mirror in the distance? I just want to see it.
I don't think that's how theodolites work. You know the guy how there's usually one guy on one end. There's always two people, one on one side and with the theodolite. The other side's got the little stick, little mirror on it.
Okay, wait, let me see if I can find one.
And that's really elementary use of surveys. You do not know how surveys work? There's two people involved, two teams.
Look, wait here. How to find the distance? Yeah, I don't remember any mirrors. I mean,
That's
okay,
what I'm
here. You see this? You see this? Here, wait. Look. You see this in the chat? Is this accurate?
Huh?
I just posted a.
Sure.
First.
That's similar. Sure, that's a similar triangulating. That's a triangulation of a height.
Here.
That's triangulating height from the horizon or something. I don't know what that is.
Okay, so are they measuring Earth curvature using a mirror? Or how does
the theodolite.
The theodolite is aimed at a mirror,
right?
And they're measuring. Okay, let me be more specific. How many inches of drop was there in one of the measurements that they took?
What? 8 inches of drop.
Over what distance?
Over thousands of miles. Or over per mile or something? I don't know. The average was 8 inches.
Like, just give me one instance of their measurement and then tell me how much drop was there.
I mean, just the measurements themselves were just angular measurements measuring over 180 degrees.
Okay, can you give me that in inches and feet of drop over distance?
No.
No? What do you mean?
No. Why? Why do I need to do that?
That was notorious for bullshit.
Okay.
Well, again, that's a bullshit question. That's what I'm asking.
Well, I mean,
if you can't explain why you're asking a question, then
because
you
what you
obviously
said
have no
isn't
fucking
true.
idea what you're talking about.
What you said isn't true.
Bro, what in the world is this thing showing here that Joe put in the chat?
I'll leave you guys to it. Indy is too bad faith for me, so I
Yeah.
prefer
So
to
tell me,
Indy can just go and run his mouth.
How you have
step
3
away.
lines of sight with 3 Yeah, you better run away.
Instantly.
He's another one, dude. He's another one.
Yeah. India, is it true? Do they use mirror? You can use a mirror, right? In a theodolite measurement? That's true, right?
They used to. So Lewis and Clark. The only time I've
never heard of it before.
Maybe a retroreflector.
Oh, you mean off the moon? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they make for the automated theodolites, the ones that do automated measurements. They use retroreflectors to do some of the measurements.
Okay, and they aim the theodolite. They physically put a mirror out in the distance somewhere on the Earth.
Well, it's like the retroreflector that's at the end of a pole. They stick it's like a tripod, right? They just stick it on the ground, and they know the height of the retroreflector, and it'll make lots of measurements, right? It'll do something like 100,000 measurements in a few hours.
Cool.
They do this in like building surveying. I've watched them do it outside my house and shit. And they put up like a 20-story building, and they would come out like pretty much every day. And there was retroreflectors on the building, like on the corners of the building, because they want to know if it's sinking or you know what I mean. And they would come out, and they had a geodetic control point. They take their little automated fucking theodolite, push their buttons, set it up, and then it would just make a bunch of automated measurements, and the dude would just sit there and pick his ass until it was done.
Okay, let me ask you this. What are your thoughts on the Great Trigonometrical Survey?
The India one?
Yeah.
Oh my God, the thing's a mess. They don't even have a uniform methodology.
Damn.
Yeah, like depending on which group of surveyors, they kind of each did their own thing.
I was trying to ask.
And
for
they assumed that the Earth was a perfect sphere.
Oh.
So the datum they use is the bezel spheroid.
I was gonna ask him for like a specific instance, you know, like just one point, like a one physical demonstration of one of the measurements that was taken during this. But it's just a Wikipedia thing.
So what they don't understand is that, or haven't heard, even though I've told these guys a bunch of times, they do something called reduction of the horizontal direction. Okay, so they take measurements. So you have 2 points. Now, is your theodolite tilted away from the other theodolite? Is your theodolite at the same level as that theodolite? Because that matters, right? You have one theodolite set at freaking 1,000 feet, and the other one's at sea level. Now, your calculation of that triangle will be different than if it was at the same level. So what they do is called reduction of the horizontal direction. They take all the measurements before they're entered into anything, and they reduce them so that all the measurements are at on the same datum. So they reduce it to sea level. So now you have a bunch of triangles. Well, what happens when you do this, when you change the elevation of the triangle, the angles relative, if the Earth is a ball, right? Now you have tilted verticals. The verticals are not in the same plane. The plumb lines, they're not in the same plane, right?
Okay, Globy.
Okay.
Welcome to Flat Earth, whoever that.
So when they reduce the horizontal direction, they have to rotate the azimuth. So instead of, like, say, pointing at 85 from true north, they have to adjust. It gets adjusted by calculation to say 86. This excess, this extra bit, is the spherical excess, right? The greater than 180-degree triangle is the result of this calculation from measuring a planar triangle and projecting it onto a curved surface. Understand? You have a triangle, and if I take the triangle and put it on a ball, project that planar triangle onto a ball, now that triangle becomes distorted, right? Because it's a curved surface. And the directions, right, relative to north, south, east, west, are slightly altered from that distortion. So the reduction of the horizontal direction changes that direction. So let's say I have a planar triangle. One line is going north south. One line is going, let's say, freaking 85. And from the end of the 85 line, that's going, say, 230 or something. Now that makes a triangle, but when I project that onto a spherical surface, I can't maintain that planar relationship if it's projected on a spherical surface. So those directions, that 85 and 237 and north-south, right, they're all going to slightly have to be adjusted to have it on a spherical surface. Now, that's why I said they're not measuring greater than 180-degree triangles. It's the result of them reducing the horizontal direction and changing the azimuth. Because if you just think about it for a second, I have three, because they're not measuring the sphere. They're not on the sphere. They're off the sphere. The theodolite is above the sphere, the lens, right? I have 3 points. They're all not on the sphere. They're above the sphere. Now, if I make lines of sight that connect those into a triangle, that's a planar triangle. They don't become a spherical triangle until they get projected onto a sphere. The sphere wasn't measured. It was assumed.
Did you just say spherical triangle? Is that what you said?
Yeah, a so-called spherical triangle, yes. I mean, it's called a rouleau triangle, technically.
Got it.
So, I mean, someone posted a diagram of it a little while ago when I was talking about it. Well, let me scroll up and see if it's still there. Yeah. Yaga Bruno posted it. This. Here, I'll post it again. This.
Oh, there, I gotcha.
Yeah, so this planar triangle, this would be the point where the theodolites are, off the surface of the sphere above it. But when you take this triangle and you push it down to the surface, those the directions of these of the sides is going to slightly change because of the curved surface. That's the azimuth direction, so that's like the compass, north, south, east, west. Those are your azimuths. So it's going to change. It's going to slightly change when they do the reduction of the horizontal direction. They take this planar triangle, project down a spherical surface, and what they're trying to do is just change the azimuth. And they say this azimuth and so this azimuth change. So you've changed the angle between the lines by changing by doing a calculation and changing the azimuth direction. And if you measure that angle, it'll end up being greater than 180 degrees if the triangle is big enough. But that's not what they're measuring. They're measuring the blue triangle, not the right triangle. The blue triangle is the measurement. The red triangle is the calculation based upon assuming the Earth is a globe.
Bro, it's the same thing that Dylan was doing, I think.
No, he said that they measure greater spherical excess. They don't measure it. They're just parroting stupid people like McToon when they say this. McToon is like the first person that really pushed this forward, and they've been freaking carrying that water of that dude just being wrong for quite a while.
Is he still around? Like, is he still going?
I mean, he's taken a beating a couple times. I think he's like in stealth mode right now.
Healing.
DJ fucked him up. Have you ever heard the DJ in him?
I did not see DJ.
DJ went into a server and debated McToon. It's one of the worst destructions I've ever heard. It's really good. I'll post in the chat.
Yeah, I'll take a look. I just been watching too many QE videos.
Oh God.
Yeah, I've been just watching QE.
McToon was literally like begging DJ to leave. It was on a different server. I think the server's name was QOps or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's where we had the Tourette's episode and called him an asshole 80 times in a row.
Yeah.
How do you manage to sit through a QE episode? It's fucking... Can't even imagine hours of it.
Yeah. Yeah, a long time ago when he was on the other FAD server, it was actually really not the videos, but like a random Glover would join, and then it was just so funny. It was like, "Are you a fan of the spinning ball space monkey religion? Okay, what is the scientific evidence of the globe?" And then they couldn't even comprehend that that there is. It's like every question was a death sentence essentially, because they didn't realize that there's no science for a shape, and then oh man. But anyways. Really quick, is there any Globers in here? Dylan was before we go back to Dylan, I don't want me Let me just see if there's any other ones in here, because I know he's here, but I want to see if there's any other Globers.
Indio. What's up, babe?
Huh? Oh, what's up, dude?
Hey, man. Long time.
Yeah, man.
My fucking Discord's all screwed up, man.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. I heard you say that in the stream.
I'm getting a new computer here this weekend, so I'll be back soon.
What's going on, dude?
Sweet, bro.
What's up, Timbo?
Hey.
Timbo Matrix and yeah. You guys all sound the same to me. Damn it.
What's going on, man?
I heard you jump in, man. You took a break, huh? That's good, man.
Yeah, I'm back now.
Yeah.
Again.
I'll be back soon. I've just been doing my own little thing, man. Doing some live streams and shit. But hey, Indio, that kid, man, with 182 IQ today, man, got so wrecked. That kid was pissing me off, man.
Oh my god.
I was screaming at my phone, man. I was driving, but I was like, oh my goodness.
It's not like that all day, man. Zodiac's been here all day watching me just like take scalps, dude. It's just like I have a pile of bodies that's so high right now.
That's awesome, man. I do a lot of listening, guys. You guys been killing it. It's been fun to listen to, man. I wish I could jump on more often.
By the way, what was he saying to get you to scream at your phone? What was he saying?
Fucking, he's just would not answer the most simplest questions. And he just kept, calling us, calling us stupid, and he's smarter, and he was just getting racked. And I'm like, you fucking Mongo, come on.
Was it another
and
one?
He's
the
20. He, was
guy?
like, he goes, oh, you guys are old, and I'm smarter than you old guys. That was pissing me off right there, man. He doesn't understand what experience is, man. He might be 22 or 7, whatever he said he was. But
was he one of those lights in the sky people, or was he like at the
He was doing lots of lights in the sky, the moon thing. You guys were talking about the moon, but he wanted to take it up there, but India wouldn't let him, man. Tried to keep it down here on Earth. And
did he have any ground thing, like any non-lights in the sky stuff, like any ground things?
No, he just had his religion, and
okay, just lights in the sky.
He was NASA. I've been to NASA. He goes, I've been to NASA.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was like, "What? Yeah, I've been there too, man." Ding dong.
I said, "Where's the proof of that globe? And is it in the coffee cups or the frickin' T-shirts?"
Wait, he said he'd been to NASA?
Yeah, he went to NASA. Yeah, over there.
Like, what do you mean, Ben? Like, what did he say? Like
Cape,
Ben?
I don't know. He went to whatever Cape Canaveral or whatever. I don't know. One of those.
Like an office?
No, where they got the rockets. The tour.
The rockets. So he might as well just say he was an astronaut.
Right. Anyway, poor kid. I felt bad for him, man.
It's been a parade of rhetorical gimmicks, one after the other. One will come in, they try to pretend that oh, I'm just a reasonable person asking questions. Then their mask falls off, and the rhetorical gimmicks come out. And then, and then it results to, well, you're just a flat earther anyway, so nobody takes you seriously. And, then there's the coping, and it's like a stupid cycle, dude. And it's like, they all think they're so original. And it's like, man, 10 of you just did the same thing in a row. And you thought your stuff that you came in with was clever. And you're just an NPC, man.
Wow.
All of them, man.
That old physicist was on there yesterday. Did you? I don't know if it was AI or
I missed him.
It was AI. I was talking with him. Well, he was kind of cool, man. He kept saying when he was done talking, he'd say over. It was very polite. He was a nice guy, man.
Yeah, man, I missed it, man.
Yeah.
I've been looking for a normal person, man. Hard.
Hopefully he'll come back. But
I haven't been trying to be confrontational either. I'm really not trying to do that. They just draw it out for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys put up with a lot, man. I do appreciate you guys, and I don't know if I could ever buy you guys dinner or something, but man, you guys have just been putting up with it lately, man. It's been pretty fun to listen to, anyway. I'm learning, still learning, man.
Honestly, the theodolite conversation, if you're not familiar with theodolites, it's actually kind of interesting to listen to. But then, like the next day, it gets old really fast because then you realize it's all nonsense. But like the first time you hear it, it's like, oh wow, this is interesting. And then like you realize it's all nonsense.
And then the Sticks and Shadow guy was in there today, I think.
Yeah, that also, like, for a person who's not familiar with it, that also might sound interesting. But then, like 10 seconds later, you realize it's nonsense again.
Total. That was that guy. It was the cop. You were talking to the cop this morning, right?
The cop.
Yeah, maybe not you, but at the India. Were you talking to the cop this morning? Maybe that was a different channel. I don't know. I was flipping around. It could have been.
What were they talking about? Was it like?
Oh, he's like, he does studies on people and studies on. He's a gang enforcement officer, and they have to profile people. And he came in to profile us.
Like a detective. That would be nice.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. He's pretty smart. He knew a lot of stuff, but he was like, you can do this in your backyard. You get 2 sticks, or maybe,
Oh, he was defending Aristotle's.
I was like, oh, dude. And he's like, yeah, most of you flat earthers are low IQ. And I was like, oh, man, poor guy.
Could he actually recite Aristophanes pretty accurately, or was he just like winging it?
No, it was just rough around the edges. He'd be like, the 2 shadows, you measure the length, and then he didn't know how to actually do it. So yeah, just part of his religion.
Did you guys mention that light source was like the location of the light source that determines the shadow angle is unknown? Did you ever mention that?
No, I don't know if they got that far. I don't know. I wasn't on the call, but I was just listening while I was packing up my car for the day or whatever.
That would be kind of interesting, like a professional, like imagine there's like a professional forensic or homicide detective, and they try to look at the evidence of the globe and see if it matches the.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think he would be willing to do it. I don't know. He seemed a little arrogant. I don't know. We could just knock him down a couple pegs, but maybe he'll come
They have
around.
a stressful job, man. I would not want to be a cop.
Oh goodness, it's got to be tough, man.
That's a real match. That's like a alpha male type of job right there.
Oh yeah, man. Lots of
Confronting
testosterone.
criminals, like that's some crazy shit.
A friend of mine's an FBI agent. He's he's on a task force. He's on a task force for bad guys, gangsters mostly, and criminals. But he doesn't do like white collar criminal. It's like the guys, with guns and shit. And they took down like 38 guys in one day, like a month ago. I was like
arrested or like?
I'm like, yeah, they got all of them, 38 of them. I go, that was a busy day, huh? He's like, yeah, fucking A, man. Because I was in the van. I was like, well, that's a good place to be. Yeah.
That's some warrior shit right there, man.
Yeah, suiting up and going getting bad guys, it's kind of like going to war.
To be fair though, I feel like doing that would probably make the average guy feel a lot more important and fulfilled than just sitting at a desk, you know?
Oh, absolutely, right?
But at the same time, it's like terrifying, you know? But on the flip side, you feel like you really like are actually doing something and not just sitting behind a computer. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you get to see, you're getting the bad guys off the street, man. I mean, there's a lot of them out there, but there's a bunch of freaking whacks out there right now, man. I've seen so many like people acting so weird lately, man. I don't know what the heck's going on. I guess
that's what the globe does to the
fucking
mind.
just whack, man. People are like hitting their heads against a wall, and it's crazy, man. People driving, trying to get away from the cops. It's like, you got to be kidding me, man. Yeah.
You know, it's harder to outrun the cops if you have to accidentally trip on a spinning object that's going 1,000 miles per hour.
Right. There you go.
It's easier to catch someone on a flat Earth because there's no, you don't have to trip on Earth curvature, or you don't have to fall because it's spinning.
Man, what a world, man.
I think DB
Great time.
Cooper, he landed in China because of the Coriolis effect. The rotation of the Earth. While he's falling out of the plane, the Earth spun, and he just landed in China, and they never found him.
Wait! I got a question. Your cop friend, you should ask your cop friend, when you do target practice for the police with your firearm, do you take into account the Coriolis spin?
No, he's not gonna. He's not gonna take that in.
That's what you should ask him. You should, next time he comes in here, as cop. Yeah,
that was another gambit today.
That was another gambit today, man.
The artillery gambit.
Yeah. You explained some artillery, how they would pinpoint how, raise or lower the barrel, basically, right?
Yeah.
And have spotters out there going, oh, no, man, you missed that to the left of,
Yeah, they have forward
about 100
observers,
yards.
man. They don't just fire blindly into a city.
Mm-hmm.
They have people that can see where the fucking shells land.
Right.
And they go, okay, that one was too far. That one was too short, right?
Too left,
it's
too
called
right.
bracketing. There's a name for it. It's called bracketing. So they bracket the target, and then they walk artillery into it, either forward or back. Because there's an uncertainty to every round.
Yeah, when you said that they did this in World War II, I was like, I remember saying to myself, I'm like, dude, I didn't know that. I didn't know that's how they did it. I wasn't sure. I mean, that makes total sense. It's totally logical. How else you going to target?
Well, let me guys ask you this question. When Tom Brady makes a throw to one of the other football players who's running to the end zone,
right?
Does he take into account the Earth curvature before he throws the ball?
No.
or the Earth spin?
It depends on whether the player's a flat earther or not.
Apparently, Neil deGrasse Tyson used that analogy for a field goal, extra point or field goal or kick or something. I don't know. And he was like, the reason he missed that field goal is because of the Earth spin. I did some quick calculations, and I was like,
no, that was the reason he got it in. It bounced off the upright and in because of the Earth's rotation under the ball.
It was in?
And that's how they won the Super Bowl.
That's right. That, the Super Bowl that he was at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. When you throw a Hail Mary in a football game, you have to take account in the Coriolis spin or whenever you throw a Hail Mary.
I love it. That's hilarious. That's why my golf game's all fucked up, man. I mean, I have not.
Yeah, the golf.
Next time I go
Tiger
golfing,
Woods. Yeah, Tiger
I
Woods
gotta,
takes the Coriolis.
I gotta bring a compass. Make sure okay, if they're spinning this way or that way, I gotta, I gotta adjust. Yeah, I gotta bring a compass with me.
Yeah, he tried to say that guy. He was like, it goes one way if you're in the southern hemisphere, and the other way if you're in the northern hemisphere.
Yeah, he was pulling something up on Google when he was doing that too. I could tell.
Well, I mean, he ended up posting something in the chat, which is just like, the typical, it isn't even like the official artillery manual, which is like FM 107 or something.
Right.
It's Field Manual 107. Now, all these artillery manuals, they'll all say some shit about Coriolis effect. But then when you actually look at it, they don't actually calculate it at all. It's just like, because they're not writing it, right? They've contracted somebody out. Hey, write, a manual for firing artillery. And they're like, okay, I'm a scientist. We got to put in Coriolis effect.
Right. We'll pay you $20,000. Write the manual. Oh, okay. We'll put in Coriolis and wind and direction and humidity. I'll bring in anything they whatever. And at the end of the day, man, you shoot the shit, it gets there. That's good, man.
Well, there's an uncertainty. Just like with a bullet, right? You have a pattern, right? You have a cluster.
Right.
Even if you had the gun fixed, right? Say you had a pod, and that was you had it you had a
cement.
Yeah, you could cement it. Exactly, you could cement it into place.
Right.
And have identical bullets that you all made, loaded into the gun, and fire each round. They're not going to go through the same fucking hole. Okay?
No, they're not.
There's going to be a spread. There's going to be a random spread.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a globe earther, Yakko1X. Yakko1X, are you there?
Yakko.
He's Yakko,
check.
come on.
Yakko, check 1 2. Open your mic. Open your mic.
He's in the chat. He's talking smack in the chat.
Chat skanker.
He's also new to the server, so.
All right. We'll give him some slack.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, let's continue with what you're saying.
Yeah, that's a great point you bring up, Indio, is that you cement the goddamn gun into, there's no way it can move. It's totally aimed. You set up your target, and you fire 10 bullets in there. You're lucky to get 2 that go through the same hole. You would be lucky. You know what I mean?
And that cluster, right? It's going to have a size, right? So let's say it's freaking 3 inches. Right? It's like a 3-inch radius circle.
Okay.
You can't say for certain where the bullet's going to go. You know it's going to go somewhere in that circle, but you don't know exactly where.
Right.
Okay, that's the precision of the instrument, or the uncertainty.
Yeah, I mean,
okay? But hold on. The corrections that they're doing are 1/10 of the size of that circle. There's no point in doing the correction. It doesn't improve anything.
Yeah.
So you moved it around in the circle 1/10 of the circle size.
Right. Which is negligible, huh? So it might as well be 0.
Well, it doesn't improve it. It doesn't improve it. You still have the large uncertainty, right?
Yep. Yeah,
but think about you don't know where it's going to land within a foot, and your correction will adjust it a 1/4 inch. Fucking, you don't know where it's going to land within a foot. What the hell's your 1/4 inch going to do?
Right. Nothing. Not going to do anything.
Because that uncertainty isn't oh, now you know where it's going to go within 1 3/4 inches. No, it's still, you don't know within a foot. All you're doing is adjusting it within the uncertainty. That's it.
The fact that these Mongos still bring up Coriolis, man, just defies my brain. I'm like, dude, we were crushing that stuff back in 2015. I was talking to artillery guys, airline pilots. There's no Coriolis, bro. It's just not there. None of these guys use it. Not one of them.
You know, it does drive me up the wall a little bit that we've been researching this topic for going on a decade now.
Yep.
And they think somehow they're going to go on Google or ChatGPT and somehow find information that we missed after 10 years. And they're going to find it. And that somehow they're going to show us like something we didn't know, and that they're going to prove us wrong in their 15-minute search. Like, it's crazy what they think sometimes.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't know if
I searched for 15 minutes. Dude, I searched for 15 days. What are you talking about?
Fucking search for 10 years, man.
I'm just talking about one particular subject. Like Coriolis, I probably looked at time in hours, at least fucking 20 hours just on that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Exactly. But yeah, there's nobody accounts for that. It doesn't happen in reality. In the physical real world, no. Man. Well, keep going, guys. I appreciate you guys so much listening and learning. I'll be back. I'll participate more this summer.
Thanks, dude. I'm glad we're entertaining you. It's our goal, dude.
Oh, dude, it's so good, man. Every day I wake up smiling, going, "All right, what manga is going to bring up, Coriolis today, or the moon or something?" I'm like, okay, yeah. You guys went into the moon today quite a bit. You were talking about
I looked at the sun and proved that the Earth is not flat.
All right.
Well, how'd you do that? Well, I looked at the sun again. Ugh.
You should go stare at the sun some more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go for it.
Right at noon, lie on your back, stare right at it.